She was the ugliest female in the tribe, but was forced to marry a handsome Fox Clan man. At first, he was very obedient to her. Just as she was lost in happiness, he planned to wipe out her entire race. During the escape, she was possessed. When she opened her eyes, she heard a scream from outside the cave. It was the Fox Clan boy attacking. The Fox Clan boy was handsome, and his body was also very striking. Noticing Mu Yun, he glanced coldly and said, "Yun Yun, tell your chief to stop being so stubborn. Hand over the sacred relic nicely. After so many deaths, do you really want your whole clan wiped out?" Sacred relic? Mu Yun just remembered. The Fox Clan agreed to the marriage because of the Snow Weasel Clan's sacred relic. That's why they looted and killed everyone. I'm willing to hand over the sacred relic. Just spare Yun Yun's life. A hunched old man walked toward her with a cane. She was the chief of the Snow Weasel Clan. Mu Tian. The boy sneered. Should have done this earlier? Why fight to the death? Then Mu Yun suddenly spoke. You can have the sacred relic, but I have one condition. Give me 3 months to settle my people. This was the only plan Mu Yun could think of. In this world, if someone got pregnant, they'd be protected by Beast World law. Wu Dai snorted coldly. 3 months is too long, I'll give you 1 month at most. He could probably guess Mu Yun's plan. With luck, 3 months might be enough to get pregnant. But 1 month was impossible. With that, he turned and left. The other Fox Clan members all stayed nearby, afraid of any trouble. The chief sighed, walked over, and said with concern, Xiao Yun, you've been through a lot. Mu Yun shook her head. Chief? I believe you understand why I'm doing this. Mu Tian certainly understood. But he also thought 1 month was too short, impossible. Still, since Mu Yun wanted to try, they might as well give it a shot. But Mu Yun wasn't worried at all. Because she had bound the many children, many blessings system. The system's first task happened to be having a baby. Even though, as a 21st century socialist successor, she couldn't accept treating women as baby-making tools. Special situations called for special measures. Otherwise, their clan would go extinct. But the only kid your age in the clan is Mu Bai. Mu Yun turned to look at Mu Bai. His body immediately tensed up. Mu Bai was handsome, even more so than Wu Dai. But he was thin, way too thin. Mu Yun sighed. It'll have to be him, no other choice. That night, the Snow Weasel Clan held a simple bonding ceremony. They cleared out a cave for them. Mu Bai stood stiffly to the side, nervous. Eat. Mu Yun pushed the food toward him. The females always got the best food in the clan. From the hunt just now, she was given the fattest, most tender piece of meat. Mu Bai quickly waved his hands. No, Yun Yun, you eat, I'm full. As a male, taking care of the female was his duty. Mu Yun looked up at him seriously for the first time. Mu Bai, you know the Fox Clan has been eyeing us. The Snow Weasel Clan, hungrily. We bonded to give the Snow Weasel Clan a chance to survive so the Fox Clan doesn't wipe us out. Mu Bai couldn't help but sit up straight. He knew, which is why he felt so much pressure. But he never expected Mu Yun's next words to make his ears turn as red as a monkey's butt. You need energy to be strong, don't tell me you're not up to the task? Mu Bai instantly exploded. He was a male, no matter how small, being told he couldn't do it would make anyone angry. He sealed her lips with a kiss. The next part of the story is something nobody wants to see. Skipping it. After one night, the system's robotic voice blasted in Mu Yun's ears. Pregnant that fast? Before she could celebrate, Mu Yun immediately opened her space. In the dim space, a small patch of farmland appeared. Her eyes went wide. Beastmen lived by hunting, not farming yet. If she had farmland, she could grow seeds. That way, they wouldn't go hungry in winter. The huge surprise made her heart pound, unable to calm down for a long time. Snow weasels take 3 months to show pregnancy signs. To avoid alerting the enemy, Mu Yun had to keep it to herself. Luckily, after that, Mu Bai took even more careful care of her. He even fed her meat by hand. And so, a whole month passed. Tomorrow was finally the day they were supposed to meet the Fox Clan. Just after nightfall, Mu Yun saw the elderly chief hunched over, holding a bundle with Mu Bai following behind. She quickly stood up. Chief, why are you here? Keep your voice down. The chief quickly glanced outside the cave, afraid the Fox Clan members nearby would hear. Yun Yun, this is our Snow Weasel Clan's sacred relic. I'm officially giving it to you today. You've been resting and building up your strength this month. You should be able to escape. Escape! The chief nodded, his cloudy eyes suddenly looking much older. You are the hope of our Snow Weasel Clan. Tonight, our Snow Weasel Clan will fight to the death to help you escape. But chief, I'm already pregnant. Mu Chan's eyes widened. The same eyes that were cloudy and old just moments ago. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Beastmen rarely conceive, many females struggle to have even one child in their lifetime, let alone getting pregnant this fast. It's unheard of across the entire Beastman continent. Shaman Mubai was the first to react. He ran out of the cave so excitedly he almost tripped. In the middle of the night, the entire Snow Weasel clan was roused. Mubai carried the shaman on his back. The old man's body was nearly shaken to death. Shaman, take a look. The clan members quickly made way for him. The old shaman tottered over and placed his hand on Mu Yun's head. Everyone held their breath. The chief stared at the shaman, not missing a single expression on his face. Suddenly, the shaman let go and dropped to his knees. A shaman god has descended. Heaven blesses our Snow Weasel clan. He bowed to the ground and kowtowed to the sky. Those words made every clan member's heart feel like it was about to burst. Everyone knelt on the ground, tears streaming down their faces. Keep it down, don't scare Yun Yun. As the clan chief, Mu Tian quickly forced himself to stay calm. But how could he stay calm? Across the entire Beastman continent, the only female to get pregnant in 1 month was Mu Yun. How could he possibly stay calm? The Beastman continent's power system has 9 levels. Their Snow Weasel clan is the weakest, only at level 1. If they could form an alliance and have high-level cubs, then the Snow Weasel clan would slowly grow stronger. So females are the hope of the Beastmen and the hope of the clan. I'm going hunting. Yun Yun's pregnant, so food is the most important thing. Mubai spoke up. He felt like he had endless energy now. Right, hunting. If she's pregnant, the food has to be top quality. And first I'll take some men to hunt bamboo rats and build a nest for the cub. I'll start a fire, the cave's too cold and it'll freeze Yun Yun. The clan members were flustered but full of energy. After all, Mu Yun was the only female in the clan. She was always treated like a precious treasure. Now that she was pregnant, the clan wanted to give her the best of everything. They wanted to give her the absolute best. Feeling the clan's warmth, Mu Yun's eyes welled up. The fear and worry from the past month since she'd traveled here had been suffocating. But the clan's care made her feel at home for the first time. Thinking about how the chief had come tonight ready to die, Mu Yun's gaze grew determined. She would protect the Snow Weasel clan. The next day, news of Mu Yun's pregnancy quickly brought Wu Dai. You're pregnant? How is that possible? Wu Dai stormed in with his men. In the torchlight, his face was shocked and unbelieving. The chief smiled, feeling his hunched back straighten for the first time. We have to thank the Fox clan for giving us a month. Otherwise, Yun Yun wouldn't have had the chance to get pregnant. Wu Dai gritted his teeth. He'd given them a month, just to make them hand over the sacred relic willingly. He never thought Mu Yun would actually get pregnant. She really is pregnant. The witch doctor the Fox clan brought spoke up. He was a 2nd-level witch doctor with a heritage of healing arts. He could see the signs of pregnancy on Mu Yun at a glance. Wu Dai's face darkened. Thinking of the sacred relic, he waved his hand. Take them all. Don't let anyone escape. At his command, the Fox clan's elite surrounded them. Screech! Just then, an eagle's cry rang out. Wu Dai's face instantly turned pale. The Eagle clan are the enforcers of the Beast World's laws. That sound is the signal the Eagle clan uses during patrols. If they catch him killing a pregnant female, the entire Fox clan will pay a heavy price. The Eagle clan is fast. They arrived right after the cry. They landed on a branch, looking down at the Snow Weasels and Foxes. They've always known about the conflict between these 2 clans. But this kind of war is so common they never interfered. However, a patrol eagle sounding the alarm means something serious happened. Mu Tian stepped forward and respectfully addressed the Eagle clan patrol leader, Yi Yu. Eagle clan, sir. If someone can get pregnant, they're protected by the law. Is that true? Yi Yu nodded slightly. Of course, pregnant females have special rights. With that, Mu Tian pulled Mu Yun forward. Thank you, sir. My little Yun is now pregnant with a cub. But the Fox clan still won't leave us alone. Could you please help us? Yi Yu was a bit surprised. Pregnant with a cub? From the start of the war between the Snow Weasels and Foxes until now, it's only been less than 3 months. To get pregnant while on the run. Yi Yu noticed Mu Yun staring at him and awkwardly looked away. He'd seen females in the beast world before. Because of migration, most had dark, rough skin. And since females got plenty of food in their clans, most of them were also overweight. But Mu Yun was different. Her skin was fair and soft, her waist slender and delicate. Even more refined than the Fox clan's females. Feeling her gaze, Yi Yu's heart tightened. He turned his eyes to Wu Dai, his expression serious. Is your Fox clan trying to break the law and make enemies of all Beastmen? Wu Dai's face was already pale with rage. No. Wu Dai took a deep breath and spoke respectfully. Sorry for the trouble, sir. Our Fox clan will leave right away. For 3 months after the cub is born. We won't break any rules. His words were also a warning. The cub protection period is only 6 months. Meaning after half a year, he could still start a war against the snow weasels. After his warning, Wu Dai turned and left. Having escaped death, the snow weasel clan showed relief. The chief's back was drenched in sweat. He stepped forward. Thank you, Eagle Clan, for saving our snow weasel clan. The Eagle Clan was a high-ranking race. No need. Yu looked at Mu Yun. I'm Yu of the Eagle Clan for the next 3 months. I'll be patrolling nearby. If you need help, you can find me. Mu Yun nodded. Thank you, Lord Yu. Her soft voice made Yu's body tense up, tickling his heart. He gave a cold reply and quickly flew away. He refused to let himself look like some reckless kid. After that, the Snow Weasel clan treated Mu Yun like a precious treasure. Clan members watched over her day and night. Mu Bai even worried she'd fall when she went to the bathroom. What surprised Mu Yun during this time was that the Eagle clan also delivered food every day. She didn't expect Beastman law to be so thorough, so friendly to females. After 3 months of rest, Mu Yun finally went into labor one night. The pain of contractions made Mu Yun sweat heavily. The pain was so bad she couldn't hold her human form. She turned into a little snow weasel and curled up. The experienced shaman gently rubbed Mu Yun's belly. After a few rubs, Mu Yun felt something drop. It's a female. The shaman caught the bloody newborn and looked at her in surprise. Females are treasures in the Beastman continent. He never expected the first litter of the Snow Weasel clan to be a female. He wiped Zhu Lingling's hands and was about to tell the good news to the Snow Weasel chief. Shaman, there's more. Mu Bai's eyes went wide as he quickly grabbed him. What? The shaman turned and saw the little Snow Weasel had given birth to another cub. You see, on the Beastman continent, births are always single. Having twins is already extremely rare, and this little Snow Weasel had multiple births. The Eagle Clan shaman was overwhelmed with deliveries. Outside the cave, the Snow Weasel chief was completely stunned by the huge surprise. News kept coming from inside the cave. Even though he had led the Snow Weasel clan for decades, he completely lost his composure. The Snow Weasel shaman knelt on the ground, shouting, "The shaman god blesses us." The commotion lasted until late into the night. When Mu Yun woke up, she found lying beside her 8 little red cubs. Yun, you're awake. The chief's voice came through. Only then did she realize she was surrounded by her clan members. 8 cubs in 1 litter. This was no ordinary beastman's doing. They knelt directly on the ground. The beast god has descended to protect our Snow Weasel clan. From now on, the Snow Weasel clan will serve you to the death. The clan members bowed their heads to the ground, devout and respectful. Chief, you all. What beast god? The beast god created the Beastman continent, allowing beast clans to take human form. But he also set restrictions to protect the young. Females and fertility have always been scarce. A fervent look shone in the chief's cloudy eyes. Only the beast god has the power to break those restrictions. What is all this? Mu Yun quickly said. You've misunderstood me. Yun, whether you are or not. The Eagle Shaman has agreed to keep this secret for us for now. Our Snow Weasel clan is small and weak right now. Mu Yun quickly caught on. Having a treasure is a crime. If her easy pregnancy, multiple birth trait got out, people would definitely covet her. The consequences would be unthinkable. The Eagle clan wants to form a marriage alliance with our Snow Weasel clan. You can choose a mate from the Eagle clan. On the Beastman continent, males settle with females. The tribes are mainly matriarchal. Mu Yun nodded. I'll follow the chief's decision. The Eagle clan is high-ranked. If we can marry into it, the offspring will be stronger. And will also be protected. Not long after the chief left, a noise came from outside the cave. The Eagle clan had sent their men as enforcers of the beast world's laws. 3rd-tier eagles have powerful bodies. All of them are tall, strong, and imposing. And the key thing is, they're super handsome. Mu Yun didn't expect the Eagle clan to act so fast. She was surprised for a moment, then quickly calmed down. A 1st-tier snow weasel can only get beaten up in the beast world. But the Eagle clan is different. The rulers of the sky are born at 3rd tier. If she could marry into the Eagle clan, the children she bore would become the clan's backbone. Having weighed the pros and cons, Mu Yun didn't hesitate and walked out gracefully. As soon as she stepped out of the cave, a fierce screech came from the sky. Why is he here? Everyone looked up, equally surprised. Who is he, you of the Eagle clan? He's the bravest warrior of the Eagle clan. Even a 5th-tier tiger clan wants to mate with him. Not to mention the other females who are as numerous as fish in a river. Now a mere 1st-tier snow weasel has made. You want to form a bond? You've got to be kidding me. The Eagle clan shaman hadn't expected you to come either. Sure, snow weasels can have multiple litters, but they're only 1st-tier. Offspring inherit from both parents. If the mother's tier is too low, the children will be born weak. Yu is the Eagle clan's most likely male to reach the high tiers. How can he bond with a mere 1st-tier snow weasel? No way, absolutely not. The Eagle shaman paced anxiously, about to step in and stop him. When Mu Yun walked out, the noisy atmosphere instantly went quiet. The girl's fair, delicate skin glowed in the warm sunlight. Every move she made people hold their breath. Mu Chan's face crinkled into a warm smile as he said, Yun, these are the Eagle clan's strongest warriors, take your pick. The word warriors made every Eagle male stand tall with pride. Mu Yun glanced around. Finally, her eyes landed on Yu. Their eyes met. Yu suddenly felt a wave of nervousness. Mu Yun hadn't expected him to come either. High-tier races always look down on low-tier ones. Especially someone like Yu at the peak of 3rd tier. Others could spend their whole lives and never reach that level. And he had only just come of age. His future achievements would surely go even further. Mu Chan gave a gentle reminder. Mu Yun snapped out of her thoughts. For the sake of the Snow Weasel clan, she had to choose a high-tier mate. She stepped forward and held out a hand. Yu, are you willing to be my mate? A simple question, but to him, it was deeply serious. The bonding ceremony went smoothly. As the two prepared to head back to the cave, Yu, a male who had never even held a female's hand, the thought of what comes next made him nervous. His palms started to sweat. Outside the cave, Mu Yun stopped him. Yu thought she was resisting him and didn't want to go back to the cave. After all, he had made the decision on his own. She might have only chosen him because she had no other option. Yu felt an indescribable ache inside. But they were already bonded. He was her rightful mate now. He could wait. He was about to speak, to tell her not to be afraid, that he wouldn't do anything. But then Mu Yun suddenly said, Yu, can you take me for a flight? Hearing her words, Yu breathed a sigh of relief. He immediately picked up Mu Yun and placed her on his back. Mu Yun leaned down and looked at the ground. This mountain forest is called Guiyu Forest. It's suitable for low-tier races to thrive. The forest has plenty of rain and few beasts. Further away, there are forests, snowy mountains, oceans, and lakes. But those places have the Beast World's tier system. Low-tier beastmen can't go there. Basically, Guiyu Forest is like a beginner's zone. A place for newbies to level up. Stop! Mu Yun suddenly spoke. She spotted a waterfall between the mountains. The area below the waterfall along the path was the edge of the forest. The terrain was relatively flat. Nice spot. Mu Yun's eyes lit up. They sat by the stream, roasting fish, sitting close together. Yu could even feel the faint brush of her skin against his shoulder. Cool to the touch, but it burned in his heart. He knew Mu Yun had chosen him for the Snow Weasel clan with no other choice. But he never expected she would not only roast delicious fish for him, but also only took him along. Did that mean she didn't dislike him? The first time they met, the Fox clan was about to wipe out the Snow Weasel clan. Upholding the law, he saw her small figure for the first time. She thanked him, her voice soft, her eyes sincere and earnest. Back then, he chickened out and flew away. After that, he'd bring her prey from time to time, keeping an eye on her without any ulterior motives. But he never expected the Eagle clan to propose a marriage alliance with the Snow Weasels. Somehow, he agreed. Now, sitting side by side as her mate, it still felt unreal to him. At least she didn't reject him. He didn't ask for much. He knew she would have more mates in the future. All he could do was protect her and her clan and be someone she could rely on. Yu silently vowed he would train hard when they got back. Mu Yun had no idea what Yu was thinking. She had already completely forgotten about him. Back in the cave, she couldn't wait to enter the space. The whole system interface flickered wildly. She felt a sudden blackout. And when she opened her eyes, she was back in the cave. What's going on? Why was I kicked out? Thinking the system had crashed, she tried to enter again. When the system's robotic voice rang out. Main Quest 1. Successfully give birth to a Tier 3 or higher cub. Mu Yun was totally confused. She wanted to refuse, but she realized the stupid main quest couldn't be refused at all. She was still nursing. How could she get pregnant? Furious, she just wanted to cuddle the cute cubs to calm down. Yun Yun, you're awake? Hearing footsteps, Mubai immediately stood up from beside the cub. The dark circles under the young man's eyes showed he hadn't slept all night. Mu Yun asked, confused. How did you end up like this? The cubs were acting up last night. No. Mubai felt bitter inside. He simply couldn't sleep, thinking about their few intimate moments. Now seeing her bond with someone else, how could he not be hurt? But with the Fox clan watching closely, her marriage to the Eagle clan was for the whole Snow Weasel clan. Even his sadness felt unreasonable. Mu Yun didn't know what he was thinking. She just figured the kids had worn him out. Let me take over, you go rest. You found a good place to settle. We'll start moving soon. A place to settle? Thinking she'd been out all night, he thought she was avoiding him. He didn't realize she was looking for a new home. Mu Yun was surprised and felt ashamed of his petty thoughts. She cared about the clan's safety, while he was hung up on small stuff. Mubai quickly pulled himself together and asked, I heard the Eagle clan's home is in the middle of the rainforest. There are lots of groups and plenty of prey there. It's a great spot. Who said we're moving there? Mu Yun said, head south, there's a good place at the foot of the mountain. The foot of the mountain? Mubai frowned. The rainy season's almost here. If we go south, we might miss the ceremony. The ceremony? The Fire God Festival. Yun Yun, you forgot? Mu Yun remembered. After the Fire God gave them fire every year before the rains, the Beastman continent holds a bonfire celebration. First, spring is the best season for having cubs since everything comes back to life. Second, it's a chance for different tribes to trade and sell. The returning rainforest has no market. The annual Fire God Festival is the only chance to set up a stall and trade. The Snow Weasel tribe has nothing worth offering. The only thing they're good at is catching bamboo rats. But a tiny bamboo rat isn't even a snack for Beastmen. And as for crafts, the Snow Weasels have none. With no skills, there's nothing to trade. How long until the Fire God Festival? Mubai thought for a moment. About half a month. The chief originally planned to leave right after the cubs were born. But the Eagle tribe's marriage proposal delayed things. Mu Yun nodded. In that case, I'll get ready. We'll leave right away. There wasn't much to prepare anyway. The Snow Weasel tribe had fallen apart, and they fled with almost no belongings. Looking at the few animal hides they had, Mu Yun silently vowed that at this Fire God Festival, she would find a way to make a good profit. But what could she sell? Hunting was out of the question. Her small frame couldn't handle it. In her past life, all she did was study. But the knowledge from books was useless here. Worrying so much, seeing her downcast, Yu took her pack. Tired? No. Suddenly, something clicked and she looked up. I know what I can sell. She could weave bamboo baskets. More specifically, bamboo backpacks. They hold more than animal skin bags and can be worn on the back without getting in the way. With that idea, Mu Yun felt a spark of hope. After college, Mu Yun had spent 2 years in a rural support program. She knew the mountain forests better than anyone. Farming tools weren't just bamboo backpacks, rope, straw hats, clay bowls, and more. She took a deep breath and focused on weaving. Yun Yun, can you really sell these? The chief saw Mu Yun working even while traveling. Finally, he couldn't help but ask. Not to discourage her, but bamboo backpacks. They're useful, but not a necessity. The tribe hunts in groups, so carrying stuff is easy. In a backwater-like rainforest return, who would actually pay for them? Mu Yun understood the chief's concern. Let me just make 10 to try. If they don't sell, we'll use them ourselves. Honestly, she wasn't sure either. But it was worth a shot. Soon they reached the heart of rainforest return. Gradually, vendor stalls and cozy treehouses for resting gathered there. The market was dazzling with all kinds of goods. But their bamboo baskets got zero attention. Yun Yun, you must be tired. Take the cubs to a treehouse and rest. Mu Chan spoke, instinctively blocking the stairs. The truth was, Mu Yun was just too beautiful. A delicate face with stunning features. A tiny waist and long, slender legs. Walking through the crowd, she was hard to miss. Mu Yun was indeed a bit tired. She was about to put the cubs in a basket and leave when someone suddenly called out. Wait! She turned at the voice. A male was curiously staring at her bamboo basket. He had long silver hair and a gentle, handsome face. He stood out in the crowd like the moon in the mist. Mu Yun had never seen anyone so good-looking. But she snapped out of it when he spoke. Is this thing sturdy enough for cubs? His voice, like jade chimes, brought her back. He wanted to buy a bamboo basket. Mu Yun was thrilled inside but kept her cool on the outside. She nodded and quickly replied, "It's very sturdy, great for carrying kids while you work." "How much?" But she had no idea what to charge. So she just threw out a number. 5 coins. When Mu Tian heard that, he gasped, almost scared to death. 5 coins, what did that even mean? 1 coin could buy a tusk boar. And 1 tusk boar could keep the snow weasels going for a whole month in winter. That was a total ripoff. The male seemed taken aback too. Mu Tian thought, oh, and was about to speak, but saw him already pull out a pouch of coins. "Then I'll take them all." The pouch of clinking coins was handed over in an animal skin bag. Mu Yun instinctively reached out and felt the heavy weight, not quite processing it. All of them? I'll have my people pick up the rest. If you have more, you can sell those to me too. Mu Yun nodded eagerly, barely able to contain her excitement. She never expected it to go so smoothly. "These are called bamboo baskets. They're a snow weasel craft. Besides baskets, we also have bamboo crates and trays. Oh, and we sell hemp rope too. That stuff is stronger than vines, perfect for tying up prey." By then, the handsome male had already put on the bamboo basket. When he heard Mu Yun say that, he smiled gently. "Sounds good. If you have quality goods, feel free to bring them over. Our Chi clan will take them all." The words Chi clan instantly stirred up the nearby vendors. It's the Jiangshui Chi clan. The beast world mostly sorted by species. Only big tribes used family names. The crowd buzzed with envy. "So you're from the Snow Weasel clan from now on? If you have good goods, just bring them over." The speaker was a little old man. His beast form was an owl from the Nightbird clan. His family lived in the rainforest area. Mu Yun had seen him before. This was a real offer to keep working together, not just polite talk. Mu Yun felt relieved and agreed confidently, "I'll bring good stuff over." After he left, Mu Yun opened the leather pouch. Inside were colorful shells. "These are shells." The chief looked excited. "I never thought our Yun Yun could actually sell those. I would have been terrified." That was the Chi clan. "Right, our Yun Yun is amazing." The clan members buzzed with excitement. They hadn't expected the bamboo baskets to sell. But Mu Yun not only sold them all, she also set up future deals. Yu Yu stood nearby, silent, just staring at Mu Yun's hands, cut by the bamboo strips. Beastman females were used to being pampered. They'd ask to be carried if they got tired walking. But Mu Yun cared about her clan. She hadn't even complained once. Yu Yu noticed her toughness. It made him feel uneasy. He thought back to that night at the edge of the rainforest. How excited she was describing their home. All he could do was stand behind her and protect her. That was it. That night, Mu Yun lay in the tree hollow, hugging the shells, too excited to sleep. Especially knowing one shell could trade for a whole tusked boar. "Tomorrow, let's buy lots of leather and herbs. Oh, and a few jugs of wine to celebrate." Mu Bai held a cub in his arms, just nodding at her excitement. "I'll go buy them tomorrow." "Here, take this." Mu Yun handed him the leather pouch. Mu Bai quickly waved his hands. No, coins are rare. A tusked boar is enough for tomorrow's shopping. Just take it." Mu Yun sat up, thinking of how miserable Mu Bai had been. She still felt a little guilty. Besides, now that they had a cub together, they should be closer than outsiders. "All right, from now on you handle the money. You work hard taking care of the cub, buy whatever you want." The word home burned in Mu Bai's heart. The colorful market reflected the young man's reddened eyes. "Are you crying?" "No." Mu Bai hugged the cub and turned away. He didn't want her to see the hurt in his eyes. "Why are you crying? Who upset you?" Mu Bai quickly wiped his tears and ignored her. He knew Mu Yun had chosen to bond with him because of the Fox clan. She never really liked him. Then came Yu. He had planned to raise the cub alone. Hearing her say that now just made it hurt more. He started overthinking again. Was she only nice to him because of the cub? But he didn't dare ask. No expectations meant no disappointment. He couldn't bring himself to ask. Mu Yun watched him stew in silence and fell asleep from exhaustion. When Mu Bai finally worked up the courage to talk to her, he saw Mu Yun had turned into a little snow weasel curled up in a tiny ball. Beastman only shifted unconsciously when completely drained. Thinking of how hard Mu Yun had worked weaving bamboo baskets, Mu Bai suddenly didn't want to ask anymore. Since she trusted him to handle things, he'd just do his best. In the end, Mu Bai took the coins. The next morning, when Mu Yun woke up to feed the cub, he seemed to have made up his mind and finally asked, "Yun Yun, when are you planning to formally bond with Yu? What?" Yun didn't understand. Bai felt a bit awkward about this. It wasn't really his place to bring it up. But since Yun treated him as a partner, he genuinely wanted to look out for her. The cub was growing up, and now it was the rainy season. If the tribe had new cubs, there'd be no shortage of prey. He spoke carefully. Yun was taken aback. She finally realized what a formal bond meant. But honestly, she hadn't even thought about it. Her formal bond with Bai was only for the mission. No rush, we finally partnered with the Chi clan, let's make money first. Yun. Bai wanted to keep persuading her, but she didn't want to hear it. Didn't you say we'd go out today? Let's go. Seeing how much she wanted to avoid the topic, Bai sighed inwardly and let her have her way. Soon, news of the Snow Weasel clan's partnership with the Chi clan spread throughout the rainforest of Return. The Snow Weasel clan? Which Snow Weasel clan? The one the Fox clan almost wiped out. Now the Snow Weasel clan is scattered with less than 20 left. And I heard there's still first tier. TSK. First tier or not, the Snow Weasel clan is now allied with the Eagle clan. That EU is no pushover. One sentence made the chatter around them quiet down a lot. In the beast world, it was survival of the fittest. If someone really wanted to plunder the tiny Snow Weasel clan, they'd be wiped out sooner or later. The Rainforest of Return was a backwater with low ranks except for the Tiger clan. A third-tier Eagle clan was already out of their league. How dare the measly Snow Weasel clan latch onto our Eagle clan? I don't know what the chief was thinking. Several Eagle clan females grumbled in frustration. Exactly, Yu is our Eagle clan's strongest warrior. Giving it all to the Snow Weasel clan as if they deserve it. If that little female hadn't shamelessly seduced him, Brother Yu would never have chosen her as his mate. Stop talking, here they come. Maya was holding in her anger, and when she saw Yun and the others approaching, it only made her more furious. In the distance, Yun was strolling casually with Bai and Yu by her side. Seeing them look like such a happy family, Maya took a deep breath. Then she noticed that Yu's arm had no totem. In the Beast World continent, after a formal mate bond, a male's arm would bear a bonding totem. It was the contract power left by the beast god himself. It was meant to bind the male mate. But Yu's arm had no totem. That meant the two hadn't bonded yet. Maya was thrilled by her discovery. That female had just given birth and couldn't get pregnant. If she forced a bond, there might still be hope. Before, Yu was too strong for her to force anything, but not anymore. To ensure offspring, the Fire God Festival would prepare aphrodisiac wine for the bonfire night to help mates conceive. With that in mind, Maya stepped forward. Yun looked up. Maya walked over slowly. Her body was way too curvy. The parts wrapped in her leather skirt practically bursting out, and she was tall. Yun looked like a little chick next to her. Yu instinctively stepped in front of Yun. He looked at Maya, his voice cold. What is it? Maya was used to Yu's coldness and just smiled. It's like this, the chief said, that since our Eagle clan and the Snow Weasel clan are allied, we should interact more. At the bonfire feast, we'll all get together and get to know each other. Yun's eyes lit up. She was thinking the same thing. Now the Snow Weasel clan was weak, and if their business grew bigger, other races might get jealous too. She needed an ally, and pledging loyalty to the Eagle clan was the best choice. Yu noticed the shift in her expression and could only nod. The Fire God Festival bonfire feast. All the rainforest tribes sat on the ground, lively and bustling. Are all the females in your Snow Weasel clan this small and frail? The speaker was Eagle clan chief Diying. She had a sharp, confident look, and after years of leading the Eagle clan, her face carried a fierce authority. She gave Yun a once-over. She hadn't been in favor of allying with a first-tier Snow Weasel clan. But the shaman was her mate and begged her repeatedly, saying this little female had an easy pregnancy constitution, which finally made her give in. But now, looking at Yun's tiny frame and skinny arms and legs, she didn't seem like someone who could bear children at all. So, I heard you got pregnant while on the run. Is it a male or a female? Yun thought for a moment and answered honestly. Both male and female. What? Twins. Diying shot up from the ground. The sudden movement startled Yun too. Sensing she'd overreacted, Diying sat back down. No wonder. Twins across the entire beast world are only possible for high-tier females. This little Snow Weasel giving birth to twins is practically unheard of. She took a deep breath, forcing herself to calm down. She exchanged a glance with her mate. The Snow Weasel clan is carrying twins. Why didn't you tell me about something this big sooner? If I'd known, I wouldn't have just agreed to the alliance so easily. The Eagle Clan shaman was confused. What twins? Diying's heart sank and she quickly asked. Could it be conjoined twins? Conjoined twins are also called stillbirths. One twin lives, the other dies. Did you not tell you? The Eagle Clan shaman was startled for a moment, then quickly leaned in and whispered to Diying. What did you say? 8 cubs in 1 litter? Diying took several deep breaths but still couldn't calm down. She even downed a few gulps of strong liquor before stopping. Yun, your Snow Weasel clan has too few members. It won't be easy to take care of the cubs later. Why not move to the Eagle Clan's territory so we can look out for each other? Her attitude did a complete 180. The more Diying looked at Yun, the more she liked her. Yun was a bit overwhelmed by this sudden burst of warmth. Actually, she had already found a territory. She really didn't want to live under someone else's roof. But thinking about working with the Chi clan, Yun figured finding a territory near the Eagle Clan wasn't a bad idea. Thank you, Chief, but won't that be too much trouble? No trouble at all. Diying laughed heartily. So what if your rank is a bit low? Innate rank isn't the same as later rank. But when it came to later rank, Diying still asked, does your Snow Weasel clan practice cultivation? The higher the mother's rank, the higher the cub's rank will be. She still hoped Yun would be a bit higher ranked. Cultivation? Yun thought of her glitched interface and gave an awkward smile. No, that won't do, Diying said. For the sake of your clan, you need to cultivate properly. A strong clan is a foundation for future generations. That's no small matter. Hearing this, Yun was tempted. So how do I cultivate? Beastmen are divided into 9 ranks. Rank 5 and above are high ranks. Those with higher innate ranks also cultivate faster. On the flip side, if your innate rank is low, cultivation is very slow. You get that, right? Yun nodded. That's easy to understand. Different births mean different starting lines, and different heights you can reach. Of course, even if your innate rank is low, slowly cultivating can still let someone reach the high ranks. But there's another type of beastman who can ignore innate rank. Diying said with a spirit vein. Not only is cultivation faster, you can also control water and fire. Ho! Yun gasped. She understood. Innate rank is the dividing line at birth. Acquired rank is your own effort. And spirit veins are a natural cheat code. So how do you know if you have a spirit vein? That, I don't know, Diying said. Even if you're born with a spirit vein, it's useless if you can't awaken it. But only high-ranking clans know how to awaken them. So that's how it is. In the end, only by reaching high rank do you get certain resources. No wonder the Eagle Clan trains so hard. But for now, don't worry about spirit veins. Just focus on cultivating. So how do I cultivate? Hunting. By hunting prey, you have a chance to rank up. The higher your rank, the faster you level up. Yun's eyes went wide. Grinding mobs. So it's like gaining experience points from prey levels. But what if a female can't hunt? Diying said. The more mates you have, the more prey they catch. Through the bond of the world contract, the female also advances with them. Seeing Yun listening closely, Diying cleared her throat and continued. Our Eagle Clan has always been great at hunting. If you like, I'll pick 8 or 10 for you tonight. No, that's not necessary. Yun was startled. 8 or 10, that's way too enthusiastic. But her reminder made her realize that in the survival of the fittest beast world, a low rank means getting beaten and bullied. Only by giving birth to high-rank cubs could her Snow Weasel clan put down roots. With that thought, she couldn't wait to open her status panel. Yun stared at the panel speechless. 107.45. 100 of that experience came from redeeming cub birth points. But what the heck was 7.45? Since she bonded with Mubai, that's all she'd gained. To test her theory, Yun decided to catch a bamboo rat herself. Catching bamboo rats means finding their holes at night and lighting a fire inside. All she had to do was wait. Smoke filled the hole and soon the bamboo rats ran out like crazy. Yun seized the chance and stomped them one by one. As the rats squealed, the status panel in front of Yun started racking up points like crazy, seeing how low the numbers were. Each little bamboo rat was only worth 1 experience, since she bonded with Mubai. As the primary killer, she got 0.9. And Mubai got 0.1. So she only got 0.1 of Mubai's share. No wonder she couldn't rank up. With that little experience, she'd never break through, even if she waited forever. Yun was utterly hopeless. So it seemed she could only get points by having cubs and then redeeming them. Yun suddenly felt like giving up. Just then, the system suddenly warned. 10 minutes. Wait, how is there already a countdown? She clearly remembered the main quest had no time limit. Who's she supposed to have cubs without here in the middle of nowhere? Then she remembered Yu was already tier 3. She had to get back right away. Mu Yun gritted her teeth and ran. But with her stubby little legs, there was no way she'd make it in time. The system prompted, redeem for 10 points? Teleport. Mu Yun stopped short. She reached out a paw and tapped it the moment she clicked the system. A mechanical system notification rang out at the same time. What? Random teleport. Before Mu Yun could react, she was yanked into a vortex. Just now, Mu Yun was pulled into a vortex by a powerful force. When she opened her eyes, she was in a stream. Her tiny body nearly sent her straight to meet the Grim Reaper. She looked around. Her eyes went wide. In the shimmering stream, a massive tail fin surfaced. The tail fin shimmered under the moonlight, dazzling like a rainbow. And following the scales upward, it was enough to make anyone's heart race. A lean waist, broad shoulders. A face so flawless it put heaven and earth to shame. Who is this? Realizing something, Mu Yun's face went pale. If you have good goods, feel free to bring them over. Our Chi clan will take them all. His voice, like shattered jade, echoed in her mind. She shuddered hard. Who? The man leaning by the shore woke up. Mu Yun was startled. She wanted to run, but it was too late. A sudden force hit her, sending her flying onto the bank. Pain shot through her entire body, and she coughed up blood. It's you. His tail fin vanished and the man slowly walked over, looking down at her. Mu Yun looked up. She saw contempt in his arrogant eyes. Like she was an ant. What's your goal in getting close to me? Mu Yun trembled in pain. System alerts kept blasting in her ears. The cold robotic voice matched the man's tone. For no reason, Mu Yun felt a surge of anger. With her last bit of strength, she jumped up and bit down hard on his throat. He didn't expect her to attack. By the time he reacted, it was too late. The moment she bit his neck, Mu Yun shifted back to human form. She pinned him to the ground. It was too fast. So fast he didn't react, only felt a chill at his waist. Next comes a scene we'll skip. System alert. Main quest 1 complete. On the other side, the Nightbird tribe's nest was shaded by big trees. Even under the blazing sun, it was cool. But everyone's hearts felt scorched. Especially the Owl clan. Owl Chief Tianzhong only reached tier 3 at age 70. Thanks to the Night Heron tribe's recommendation to the Qi clan, he had support. But who'd think their big backer after a short rest outside, wading through water, would get taken by force? Looking at the forced contract mark on the backer's arm, Tianzhong wanted to kill someone. Which jerk was messing with them? Could it be the Tiger tribe? The tier 5 Tiger tribe was the strongest and most savage ruler of the rainforest. But they'd only just qualified for high tier. How would they dare mess with this big shot? Master. Tianzhong swallowed, sweat dripping from his temple. You called for me? Chiyu leaned back in the fur chair, looking tired. Thinking about last night's craziness, the tightness in her chest still hadn't eased up. The binding power of the world's contract law left him completely weak and at her mercy. Remembering how he'd begged and cried in the end, Chiyu wanted to kill her out of anger. He'd run away because he didn't want the clan marriage. So what would it mean to go back now? Master. Tianzhong called out again timidly. Chiyu snapped back to reality. Has the Snow Weasel clan come by recently? Tianzhong was totally confused. Snow Weasel clan? What Snow Weasel clan? The old man's memory was getting bad with age, and he'd completely forgotten about them. A flicker of disgust passed through Chiyu's eyes. Weren't we supposed to take their goods? Tianzhong finally remembered. They haven't come, the Fire God Festival isn't over yet. So the Snow Weasel clan probably can't deliver right now. If they can't deliver decent goods within a day, we won't take anything from them from now on. That little Snow Weasel clan, just to get close to me. They came up with such a low move. He found it beneath him and didn't want any part of it. Yes, Master. Tianzhong walked out in a daze. He'd heard the news and braced himself for a huge storm. But it was just about this. That jerk was passing off fake orders. That's it? He'd still passed the message on to the Snow Weasel clan. When Mu Yun heard the news, her whole body ached. Her mind, still reeling from the crazy night, felt like it was about to explode. Seeing Tianzhong, she was full of guilt and couldn't even speak clearly. Well, if that's the case, tell your master this deal is off. Tianzhong was confused again. My master is from the Jiangshui Qi clan. You can't just call it off like that. Does the Snow Weasel clan even know how big this deal is? Mu Yun knew, of course. That's exactly why she was chickening out. She was timid, and crossing the Jiang Shuiqi clan was an accident. Now, if she couldn't fight them, she could at least avoid them. When Tianzhong brought back the message, Qiyu couldn't believe it. She really said that? He'd imagined she would come beg him in person. He'd imagined she would try to explain. He'd even imagined she would play the victim to get more from him. But he never imagined she'd just cut and run, without taking any responsibility at all. Unbelievable. The anger stuck in his chest made Qiyu grind his teeth. Is she playing hard to get? He took a deep breath. His handsome face was breathtaking under the moonlight. Silver hair cascaded down like a waterfall. His eyes swept over the ancient totem branded on his arm. The beast world's law, witnessed by heaven and earth, live together, die together. This was the contract power given by the ancient beast god, impossible to erase. Chiyu's eyes darkened as he thought of the woman's words. His claws shot out, tearing off a strip of flesh. She thinks this can trap me? I won't let her have her way. After the Fire God Festival, the Snow Weasel clan set out for the Eagle clan's territory. That place was in the heart of the rainforest, full of dangerous beasts. Fights were common and entire clans were often wiped out. Mu Yun was terrified the whole way. By the time she reached the territory and caught her breath, days had passed. For days, her whole body had been aching. She was also sleepy and couldn't muster any energy. Thinking about the system's mission, she figured she was pregnant again. But she didn't dare say it. What was she supposed to say, that she'd snuck out to see him late at night? Took a bath and then forced herself on him. This is way too embarrassing. Yun, you're awake? Mu Bai walked into the cave holding a big leaf. On it was the tenderest meat from the belly of a forest deer. You guys caught a forest deer today? Mu Yun was surprised. She'd tasted forest deer at the Fire God Festival. The meat was firm and chewy, really memorable. Mu Bai blushed. You found the deer herd, and we caught two with the Eagle clan. So that's how it is. Mu Yun was about to reach out and take it. But just then, someone burst in and smashed the meat onto the ground. Maya. A few Eagle clan males rushed in and grabbed her. Don't touch me. Maya shoved their hands away. Feeding such good food to these useless people? As if they deserve it. Maya was shaking with rage. Why should a lowly outsider be treated so well? The words lowly outsider made Mu Yun's eyes darken. What do you mean by that? What do I mean? Maya sneered. You shamelessly mooch off the Eagle clan, can't even help hunt. What right do you have to eat the food we caught? Forest deer were rare and hard to catch. Especially the belly meat, which was the softest and most tender. That meat had always been hers alone. And now it was being given away to outsiders. How could she stand it? The commotion was too loud. Soon, it drew a crowd of onlookers. Hearing Maya's words, they all glared at Mu Yun and her group. I don't know what the chief was thinking, taking in these useless people. They freeload and won't leave no matter what. Keep your voice down. Well, they managed to latch onto the Jiang Shuiqishi. That's one of the top clans around. That's hilarious, you don't even know. The Snow Weasel clan is lazy and didn't deliver on time. The Jiang Shuiqishi cut ties with them long ago. Really? Everyone was shocked and looked at Mu Yun with even more contempt. It was your Eagle clan who invited us. We didn't just show up uninvited. If this is how the Eagle clan treats guests, then we don't have to stay. Mu Yun turned to Mu Bai. Go tell the chief to pack up, we're leaving now. Maya suddenly blocked the cave entrance. Do you think you can just come and go as you please in Eagle clan territory? Then what do you want? Maya looked her up and down, growing more jealous by the second. At the bonfire feast, she tried to force a bond with Yeyu. But he didn't give her any chance. Now he's even doing small things like roasting venison himself. Why does this female get special treatment from him? What does she have that I don't? Or maybe it's just a couple of flavors. Is it just because she's fertile? Sure, the Snow Weasel clan can have twins. But what good is a lowly bloodline, no matter how many? Thinking that, Maya lifted her head and spoke harshly. We hunted this deer ourselves. If you've got any pride, go hunt one to pay us back. Ho! At that, the whole crowd gasped. That's a mountain deer. Even the Eagle clan struggles to catch one, let alone a snow weasel. Maya looked down at Mu Yun. So, do you dare? No. Maya's eyes went wide. She couldn't believe how shameless she was. I never claimed to have pride. She wasn't stupid, that's a mountain deer. They were only wary of the Jiang Shuiqishi. That's the only reason they were nice to the low-ranked Snow Weasel clan. Now that the Jiang Shuiqishi are gone, Why would the third-tier Eagle clan even care about them? Mu Yun saw the looks on everyone's faces. She took a deep breath and looked at Maya. You don't have to humiliate me like this. Everyone knows the Snow Weasel clan isn't good at hunting. But since I'm determined to leave, I'll pay back every bit of the prey. Not a single thing owed. Pay back? With what? Maya almost laughed. What could a measly Snow Weasel possibly offer? She was about to mock her. But Mu Yun just pulled out 5 sea coins and threw them on the ground. Is this enough? Maya's smile froze. When she didn't answer, Mu Yun took out 5 more and tossed them in front of her. Is this enough? Maya gritted her teeth. How dare she? The watching beastmen were totally stunned. 1 sea coin could buy a tusk boar, more than enough for a mountain deer. Mu Yun just tossed 5 coins. That was straight up throwing money in her face. But honestly, they wouldn't mind being humiliated like that. Someone couldn't help stepping forward. It's just 1 mountain deer. How about this, the Snow Weasel clan's mountain deer? Our squad will cover them from now on. No need for so many sea coins. 1 coin per deer, deal? Our squad will do to deer for 1 coin. That's a friend price. We'll do 3 for 1. Everyone started arguing, nearly coming to blows. This was the sea market. Only an idiot would turn down money. Maya's face went pale, then red with anger. She never expected this female to be so rich. She let out a cold snort. Without the Jiangshui Kishi backing you. Let's see how many sea coins your Snow Weasels can waste. Just as she finished speaking, a harsh screech came from outside. The Owl clan swooped down in formation from high above. The commotion nearly triggered the Eagle clan's attack alarm. It's the chief. The chief is here too. Everyone looked shocked. Even Mu Yun rushed out of the cave. In the distance, Di Ying was helping Tianzhong walk. The two came over chatting and laughing. When Tianzhong saw Mu Yun, he grinned. He hurried over to greet her. Mu Yun instinctively stepped back, unsure what was going on. Di Ying spoke up first. Yun, Chief Tian is here to give you money. Give me money? Tianzhong nodded hard, his face crinkling into a smile. He pulled out a leather pouch, heavy and bulging. Last time we were too hasty. This is compensation from the Owl clan. Please, the Snow Weasel clan must accept it. The onlookers exchanged glances. The Owl clan was being so careful with the Snow Weasel clan, almost like they were trying to win favor. Tianjiang's heart raced as he held out the pouch, refusing to pull back. He was dead set on making amends. He never expected those bamboo baskets to be so popular outside. It's true that the Kishi cut off the Snow Weasel clan's supply, but the baskets they'd collected still had to be sold. And once they went on sale, they became an instant hit among the females. The craftsmanship was delicate and fine. The key was that you could put a baby in one and carry it on your back. Even high-ranking females started asking around, and their inquiries led them straight to the clan. Tianzhong was already stressed about offending the Kishi. He never expected such a huge deal to land in his lap. It snapped him right out of his daze. Offending the Kishi was a headache. But as the Nightbird clan said, only a fool turns down money. Once the order was delivered, they'd put in a good word for him with their big backer. His Owl clan finally had hope. So Tianzhong scraped together everything he had and came crawling back. Please be generous and don't hold it against us. No matter how late the delivery, the Owl clan can wait. Ho! This attitude left everyone stunned. They could hardly believe their ears. And it didn't stop there. Tianzhong kept talking. Of course, the price isn't an issue either. If you're not satisfied, just say the word. 2 sentences were enough to shock those Eagle clan hicks. They had heard about the Snow Weasel clan's bamboo baskets. 1 basket sold for 5 sea coins. That was already a sky-high price, and it could go even higher? You've got to be kidding. She breathed a sigh of relief but didn't take the bag. I'm partly to blame for what happened last time. If the High Priestess hadn't been so busy, the chief wouldn't have been put in a tough spot. This time, we'll have enough stock and there's no need to raise the price. Business is about long-term gains. Mu Yun didn't want to lose big for small gains. She valued the Owl clan's sincerity more. Hearing this, Tianzhong paused. For the first time, he really looked at the young female before him. Young, steady, generous, and more importantly, farsighted. In the end, Tianzhong forced the bag of sea coins into her hands. Just a small token, please accept it. Like I said, if you have good goods, just bring them over. Price won't be a problem. Deal. Mu Yun didn't hesitate and took it gracefully. They agreed on a delivery date. Only then did Tianzhong leave satisfied. Once he was finally gone, everyone snapped out of it. A whole bag of sea coins just handed over like that? Di Ying smiled with pride, looking at Mu Yun with growing approval. So, are you settling in okay? Everything's fine, Mu Yun said. But there's something I need to discuss with the chief. Between us, no need for formalities. Mu Yun smiled, thinking of the Eagle Clan's attitude, but still spoke up. Chief, staying in Eagle Clan territory isn't really convenient. It'd be better to be neighbors so we can look out for each other. You want to move out? Diying was startled. Did someone in the clan give you a hard time? No, it's just not convenient. You should understand what I mean, Chief. Diying suddenly got it, right? She'd warned her mate that the snow weasel's easy pregnancy trait couldn't get out. But if this went on, it'd be impossible to hide. Thinking that, Diying didn't try to stop her. Mu Yun thought about the Eagle Clan's attitude. If you don't mind, Chief, I'd like to work with the Eagle Clan. Work together? Mu Yun nodded. If anyone wants to learn weaving, I'll teach everything I know. But the price will be lower, I hope you understand, Chief. What? At that, the crowd instantly buzzed. Skills had never been taught to outsiders. And the Snow Weasel Clan's craft could be traded for real money. Even if they couldn't sell for 5 sea coins, 1 sea coin would satisfy them. Diying was also shocked and instinctively wanted to refuse. But Mu Yun cut her off. The Snow Weasel Clan is willing to support and stand with the Eagle Clan. I hope you'll agree to my request, Chief. Diying laughed heartily. In that case, I won't hold back. If you ever need the Eagle Clan, just say the word. Seeing Diying agree, the Eagle Clan members got excited right away. And they also felt ashamed of their earlier attitude. Maya saw everyone's expressions and her face went pale and red. She just stormed off. Soon, news that the Snow Weasel Clan was moving spread through the Eagle Clan. This time was different from before. The Snow Weasel Clan's packs were bulging, full of pelts, game, herbs, and stone arrows. Mu Chan was overwhelmed by the Eagle Clan's hospitality and couldn't refuse. His old face was practically beaming. But Mu Yun, on the other hand, wasn't happy at all. What do you mean, not pregnant? The shaman nodded. If a female is pregnant, there are always signs. I never get that wrong. How is that possible? Mu Yun's eyes went wide. The system's main quest was clearly completed. The rewards even came through. How could she not be pregnant? Maybe take another look? Seeing her anxious, the shaman quickly reassured her. Getting pregnant is hard for females, even decades. Without signs is common. Yun, you just had a baby, this kind of thing, don't rush it. No, it's not that she's impatient. It's just that this news is way too something. Could it be a system bug? She was worried about trouble during the migration, so she went to the shaman. But she never expected to hear this. How could she not be shocked? But I've been getting sleepy a lot and eating more. The shaman smiled. That's normal around spring. After the shaman left, she opened the system panel and saw over 99 lottery tickets. This doesn't add up. Unable to figure it out, Mu Yun decided to stop thinking about it. After all, the Snow Weasel Clan shaman was only first rank. Maybe he was wrong. When she entered the space again, she found an extra patch of moist soil beneath her feet, much bigger than last time. Could completing the main quest upgrade the space? Whatever, let's plant herbs first. Decided, she opened the herbs and buried the seeds in the soil. Spend 10 points? The next second, the seeds burst out of the ground. They grew wildly at a visible speed. In just an instant, she harvested the red flowers. 17 licorice, 21 ginseng, 6. Prompt, spend 10 points to unlock alchemy? Alchemy. I can do alchemy? After clicking, a system panel appeared. There were many pill recipes, but they were level locked. For now, she could only make the most basic, revitalizing pills to stop bleeding and swelling. The higher the level, the stronger the pills. But being able to stop bleeding was already enough for her. Mu Yun calculated that just making revitalizing pills would cost at least 30 points. And she only got 10 points for having one baby. Without points, she was stuck. She had to have more babies. She couldn't help touching her belly. This time, she wanted to give birth to a mermaid. She dreamed of the baby's birth, not knowing that mermaids are carried by the father. Right then, the great shaman, revered by thousands, was so excited his eyes filled with tears. He looked at his master and couldn't help speaking. Master, you show signs of pregnancy. What did you say? The man, who had been resting with his eyes closed on the stone throne, glared darkly at him. The great shaman was startled but gathered his courage. Ancient merfolk carry their young as fathers. Master, have you forgotten? Chiyu stood up instantly. The unique mermaid silk robe draped down, covering the jagged scars on his arm. He gritted his teeth hard. His face, once like fine jade, now burned with rage, as if he could devour someone whole. The great shaman quickly tried to calm him. Master, please don't get angry, it's bad for the baby. Bastard! Chiyu, furious, slammed his hand on the ancient rattan chair. The chair shattered instantly. The great shaman, terrified, cowered in the corner and stammered. Master, this is good news, but it's a big deal, we should tell the chief. The Chi clan are descendants of ancient merfolk, born at the 6th rank and were once the rulers of the South Sea. But as their offspring dwindled and their race declined, they were forced into exile at Zhang River. If no high-ranked child is born within 100 years, the entire great clan will die out. But it's incredibly hard for merfolk to conceive. Just the requirement of pure blood means they must mate within the clan. Of course, outsiders aren't impossible, but they must be from an ancient bloodline. But how could an ancient great clan ever look twice at those exiled to Zhang River? The chief, to preserve the clan, had to settle for second best, using marriage to seek protection from those high-ranked great clans. But now that you're showing signs of pregnancy, why bother with marriage? He conveniently ignored the scar on his master's arm, a forcibly contracted ancient totem that looked almost like a marriage totem. But after years of practice, he couldn't have missed it. Of course, no harm done. If you dare spread this around, I'll kill you. Chiyu warned him through gritted teeth. Of course. The great shaman conveniently ignored that too. He understood that being forcibly contracted wasn't exactly something to brag about. But someone who could forcibly contract his master would have to be at least 6th rank or higher. How could that not get him excited? He tested the waters. Master, this can't be hidden for long. If the cub is born without its mother's clan to protect it. Hearing this, Chiyu sneered. Are you saying the Chi clan of Zhang River can't raise one cub? It's not the same. The beast world is a matriarchal society. A cub without its mother's clan will be looked down on in its father's clan. Is the cub's mother's clan not planning to take responsibility? The great shaman was startled by his own thought. Someone who can force a contract must be from a high-rank clan, which means they have males lining up like fish in a river. If she's not going to take responsibility in this situation, how will the cub ever fit in later? The great shaman got more and more scared, his breathing quickening. Master, he called out again, his voice more urgent than usual. Chiyu shot him a sideways glance with his misty eyes. You're overthinking it. How could he not overthink it? The great shaman was freaking out. Master, the Chi clan of Zhang River might not match those big clans. But for the sake of the ancient merfolk bloodline, it's worth fighting for, even if it means dying. Enough. Chiyu had to stop him before he went too far. It's just a first-tier snow weasel from the rainforest. A maternal clan like that isn't worth keeping. First-tier snow weasel? Those 4 words exploded in the great shaman's mind. He even forgot to breathe. But that was a forced contract. How is that possible? It was just a setup, nothing worth mentioning. The great shaman swallowed hard, his face full of disbelief. A little female from a first-tier snow weasel clan forcibly contracting a high-rank ancient merfolk? Who would believe that? It's absolutely outrageous. Chiyu wasn't surprised by the great shaman's reaction. He lowered his eyes and touched his belly with slender fingers. Ancient merfolk get pregnant for 1 month and give birth. In a month, he'd become a father. He thought he'd never have a cub in his life. But fate played this huge joke on him. So what if the mother's clan is a first-tier snow weasel? Even if his cub is born low-tier, with his care and feeding, it won't turn out too bad. If anyone asks about the mother's clan, thinking about how he'd clung to her that night, Chiyu's face went pale. A mother's clan like that is better off ignored. Even so, the great shaman was still a bit upset. The thought of the cub's mother's clan being a bunch of hicks. The great shaman was really worried. Dad. The great shaman looked up and saw his daughter coming. His gloomy mood instantly cleared. He immediately went shopping with his daughter. The Nightbird clan traveled between cities on a regular cycle, so the streets were especially lively today. As they walked, they noticed many new things. Novel items woven from bamboo. Ropes, straw sandals, hats, grasshoppers, frogs. She couldn't put any of them down. Seeing his daughter's sparkling eyes, the great shaman pulled out a pouch of sea coins. I'll take all of these. But the vendor didn't take the heavy pouch of sea coins. They were all sold out. Even pre-orders had a 6-month wait. The great shaman looked stunned. Have you thought about scaling up your business? If someone figures out your weaving technique, your goods won't be in demand anymore. Why not sell the technique to my Chi clan and we'll split the profits? What do you think? The vendor smiled bitterly. Shaman, I don't understand any of this. How about I go ask our chief? Sure, if your chief agrees, I'll come meet him myself. After saying that, the great shaman decided to go home and wait for news. Everyone says the Chi clan of Zhang River is good at business. Their enterprises span the 9 regions, all glorious. But they don't know that all these years, their reach has only brought in petty profits. Still, thinking about the Owl clan's weaving craft, the great shaman felt a glimmer of hope again. Over here, Tianzhong was flattered when he got the news. Really, the Chi clan? Truly, the great shaman of Qi said it himself. Hearing that the great shaman would come in person, he paced back and forth excitedly. He thought that after that bastard forced a contract on his master, he thought cooperation with the Qi clan was hopeless. He never expected to gain their favor again. What did he, an owl, do to deserve the great shaman coming in person? Go and personally escort the great shaman here. I'll introduce him to the Snow Weasel clan. Sunset Cliff. After moving away from the Eagle clan's habitat, the Snow Weasel clan migrated to the base of Sunset Cliff, with mountains and water nearby surrounded by lush trees. It was very cool in the scorching summer, but Mu Yun felt a bit anxious inside. Half a month had passed and there was still no sign in her belly. Could it be she really wasn't pregnant? She had originally planned to use this batch of points for experience points. She had never really understood the concept of ranks. But after Di Ying's reminder, she truly experienced what it meant to be the law of the jungle. Now she worried all day and had lost a lot of weight. If you ask me, why not buy some slaves? Di Ying spoke up. To expand the clan, aside from getting people to submit, this is the only way. Where do you buy them? The Tiger clan specializes in that. If you're interested, I'll help you look. Mu Yun smiled gratefully. Then I'll leave it to you, Chief. Di Ying waved his hand. No need to be so formal between us. If it weren't for the Snow Weasel clan teaching everything, his Eagle clan wouldn't be earning sea coins, they'd still be making stone tools. By the way, about you and Yu. Di Ying couldn't help but bring it up. I know agreeing to the marriage alliance was forced. Yu may not say it, but he definitely cares. Mu Yun hadn't expected him to ask about that. She'd been too busy lately. Plus, she was worried she might be pregnant. How could she even think about that? Di Ying understood. I just mentioned it. If you don't like Yu, our Eagle clan has plenty of brave warriors who like you. Just tell me who, and I'll make it happen for you. No need. Mu Yun quickly waved her hand. Right now, she was focused on the future of her clan. Love could wait. Suddenly, Mu Tian's voice came from outside the cave. Mu Yun and Di Ying exchanged a look. If he was coming this late, something must have happened. Great news. Someone wants to meet you in person to discuss a big deal. If it goes well, we might be able to sell our goods across the 9. Really? Mu Yun's eyes lit up. She knew their goods could only be sold in Yingzhou for now. Sales were good, but it wouldn't last. She was already thinking of new business ideas. It was like a pillow arriving just as she felt sleepy. The great shaman came in person, not just for the rainforest. Tianzhong was a man of honor. His all clan had gotten this far thanks to the Nightbird clan's support. Why would he betray his old allies and team up with the Qi clan? So the meeting was set in Yuanzhou, right next to the Nightbird clan's rainforest. When Mu Yun arrived, she saw Tianzhong greeting someone with great respect. When he saw her, he smiled warmly and introduced her. Great shaman, this is Yun Yun. The great shaman looked up. Under the moonlight, the girl's skin was fair and delicate with a face no bigger than a palm. Even though he'd seen many people, he was still surprised for a moment. Do all the females of the Owl clan look like this? Great shaman. Mu Yun stepped forward to greet him. Hearing her, the great shaman snapped back to reality. I heard you came up with this weaving technique. The great shaman spoke first. He was over 50. And looking at Mu Yun like a daughter, his tone softened. Mu Yun nodded. The great shaman got straight to the point. The weaving technique is indeed exquisite. But if someone really wanted to, they could copy it, rather than let others take a cut later. You might as well sell us the technique now. Name your price, and the market fare is yours. Mu Yun smiled. Great shaman, do you think I'm young and naive? That's a pretty weak excuse. Chief, business is about give and take. If you want a deal, show some sincerity. I'm not doing a what-I'm deal like that. With that, Mu Yun turned to leave. The great shaman quickly called her back. Hold on. He really didn't expect such a strong attitude from a young female. He admitted, at first, seeing how young she was and how the Owl clan was fawning over her, he thought he could lowball the price. He never expected this young female, who looked so gentle, to speak so sharply and hit every weak point. It was just a joke, why take it so seriously? The great shaman's attitude did a complete 180. Soon, they reached an agreement, a 50-50 split. Tianzhong watched from the side, his jaw practically dropping. A 50-50 split? With the Chi clan's connections, the profits would be enormous. Don't laugh. Don't you dare laugh. He scolded himself for being so easily impressed and held it in. The two of them chatted a bit longer. The great shaman was surprised to find that Mu Yun not only had unique insights, but also a natural talent for putting them into practice. By the end of their talk, he was genuinely impressed. He never imagined a mere first-tier girl could be so smart. He even thought if his master's bonded partner were someone like her. Even if she were only first tier, so what? Too bad his master was forcibly bonded with a snow weasel. He still didn't know the girl in front of him was that very snow weasel. He sighed, thinking that a first-tier snow weasel could only hunt bamboo rats. The great shaman's excitement was doused like cold water. His heart felt ice cold. After seeing the great shaman off, early the next morning, Di Ying took Mu Yun to the Tiger clan. When they arrived, they learned that from the edge of the territory, it would take 5 days to reach the center. Mu Yun was shocked. The Tiger clan's territory was that big? Of course, they're 5th-tier tigers. The Tiger clan is ruthless, especially their chief, Dishi. He's bloodthirsty and cruel. They say he killed his father and brother to become chief. Even his own loyal followers weren't spared. Some were banished, others were bitten to death. It's terrifying. Even talking about it gave Di Ying chills. These days, anyone who crosses the Tiger clan faces total annihilation. No one is spared. Hearing that, Mu Yun felt a bit discouraged. Then why are we going to the Tiger clan to buy slaves? That's fine. Di Ying laughed. The Tiger clan isn't stupid. What would they gain by wiping out the Snow Weasel clan? Mu Yun felt a sting. Ouch, that hurt. Still, that made her feel a lot better. Just as they found a cave to rest in, a huge roar suddenly exploded from inside. Di Ying's face changed. It was a pair of male and female flood dragons. Everyone was terrified. In the firelight, a giant forked tongue shot toward Mu Yun. Di Ying instinctively tried to grab her, but the snake was faster. It coiled around Mu Yun and dragged her into the cave. Mu Yun was thrown to the ground. The rough surface scraped against her delicate skin, burning like fire. But she couldn't focus on the pain. Foul saliva dripped down onto her head. The sharp fangs in its massive jaws were about to swallow her whole. Mu Yun rolled instinctively and tumbled into a narrow passage. The flood dragons kept roaring. In the darkness, Mu Yun held her breath, her heart pounding. She looked out through the passage. It made her pupils contract. That beast was planning to shed its skin and evolve right in this cave. That was a 4-mark beast. Just as Mu Yun was figuring out how to escape, she suddenly felt her ankle grab tightly. A woman accidentally fell into a cave. She ran into the legendary brutal and vicious Tiger clan chief who killed his father to take power. But instead of being scared, she wanted to take him home. Just as Mu Yun was trying to figure out how to escape, she suddenly felt her ankle grab tightly. Startled, she kicked at it. A muffled grunt rang out. Someone's there. She looked closer. The dim cave light fell on a young man. His exposed skin was covered in wounds. He probably didn't have long to live. Mu Yun instantly wanted to ditch him and run. But just then, the young man opened his eyes. Amber-colored pupils, calm as still water with a hint of death in them. Mu Yun suddenly felt guilty for wanting to trade him for her own escape. You? As he said that, he couldn't hold on anymore and passed out. Dixie had a dream. He dreamed of the night his mother died 10 years ago. He was guarding the cave entrance, praying to the beast god, hoping his mother would get better soon. Later, his father and brother came back with herbs, saying they could cure anything. But those herbs were clearly the most poisonous monkshood on the mountain. He'd been gathering herbs since he was a kid, so he couldn't mistake them. His father and brother were clearly trying to kill his mother. He cried, he fought, he begged his father not to feed her the poison. That was also when he found out. His father was secretly selling slaves and his brother led massacres. They made his mother so sick with anger that she couldn't be cured. After discovering the truth, he was locked in a cave and treated worse than an animal. Later, he bit through his father's throat and threw his brother's head into the fire. He finally avenged his mother. Once he let go of the last bit of strength, he finally felt the pain. It hurt so much. Mom. In a daze, he felt a pair of hands gently stroking his back. And it didn't hurt as much anymore. Suddenly, he tasted bitterness in his mouth as it went down his throat, making him snap his eyes open. In the darkness, a pair of jet black eyes were staring at him. How are you feeling? Dee instantly went on guard. His body, used to years of abuse, instinctively rejected anyone getting close. But a voice in his head reminded him, "Don't scare the little female." So he decided not to speak. "Your injuries are bad, so I gave you some herbs. It might be a little bitter. Herbs. Dixie then noticed the large wound torn by that CS had miraculously stopped bleeding. What kind of herb was so amazing? Seeing he wasn't talking, Mu-Yun just shifted her body to make some room for him. Mu-Yun was afraid he'd kick her out. Thanks. The boy's young voice sounded, then he quickly turned his head away. Mu-Yun didn't mind, just figured he was wary. How did you get captured? Captured? Dixie thought for a moment. He'd heard there was a pair of flood dragons here about to break through to Fermarx. So he came to kill them. They fought for 5 days and 5 nights. He was lying in ambush here to land the final blow on the beast. This little injury was nothing to him. Seeing he wasn't talking, Mu-Yun. Are you an escaped slave in tiger territory? The word slave made the boy's eyes flash with disgust. Mu-Yun caught his reaction. That only confirmed her suspicion. No wonder I heard the tiger clan chief, De Yi, is cruel and heartless. You must have run away because you couldn't take it anymore. De himself. I'll distract the beast, you go first. Mu-Yun's eyes lit up, but she felt a little bad. Can you handle it? This scrawny kid wouldn't even be a snack for that beast. The flood dragons are weak during their molt. I can take them on. That was obviously a lie. Once it regained its strength, one claw swipe would crush him. But De wasn't going to say that. He just looked down at his own wounds. The gashes from fangs were slow to heal. He'd been putting up with it. But now, not only had the wounds miraculously stopped bleeding, they were slowly healing. And she used such amazing herbs on him. Without holding back. No one had ever been this kind to him except his mother. Thinking about what she said about him, Dixie didn't want to reveal who he was. Hearing that, Mu-Yun finally relaxed. If we both get out of here, do you want to come to my snow weasel clan? Dixie perked up his ears, not sure what she meant. My clan is weak and often gets bullied. If you don't mind, we can be family from now on. Family. Dixie's heart jolted. Those words were too far away and too heavy. Something he never dared to hope for. How could she promise that so easily? Of course, even without a sacred contract, the Snow Weasel clan would still welcome you. Don't feel pressured. No need. That was too forward of me. Mu-Yun felt awkward but wasn't surprised he'd say that. In the beast world, clan loyalty runs deep. Even if your clan is wiped out, you wouldn't willingly join another. Especially the weakest one, the Snow Weasels. Mu-Yun was about to change the subject, but the next second, he reached out and touched her forehead. In an instant, a massive contractor came crashing down. What's going on? Mu-Yun's heart raced as her eyes snapped open. This is the power of a contract, Dixie said. A master-servant contract. As he said it, the young man's ears turned red. Feeling pathetic, he awkwardly added, consider it payment for the herbs. Mu-Yun. She was upset about the healing pill. But back then, she had no choice. And he actually believed her and jumped at the chance to be annoying. He'd never hated himself more. I heard a sacred contract only ends in death. If you go into danger, will I sense it? When she didn't answer, Dixie thought she hated him. He bitterly figured someone as bloodthirsty as him could never truly be accepted. She definitely hated him. She probably wished he was dead. The young man muttered, turning his face away. Mu-Yun let out a sigh of relief. Good, I was worried you'd bait the beast and lose. If I can sense you, I'll know what's happening. The Eagle clan is coming with me. Together, we can take on the twin dragons. The young man's ears twitched. You're afraid I'll be in danger? Of course, we're both trapped here. And now we're bound by a sacred contract. I can't just look out for myself. That was the honest truth. When she said she'd accept him into the Snow Weasel clan, she was just saying it offhand. After all, it wasn't even certain they'd survive. But she didn't expect him to take the initiative and make a contract. He didn't look down on her for being a Snow Weasel at all. Of course she didn't want anything to happen to him. That beast can't take me down. Really? You're that tough? Her anxious heart, after hearing that, instantly felt lighter. Dixie even thought about smacking that beast dead right then, to show her how strong he was. But the next second, Diying and the others came charging in. The cave was winding and twisting, so it took Diying's group a while to find it. Hearing the noise, Mu-Yun was so relieved she almost cried. It's the Eagle clan. The Eagle clan is here. Yun-Yun, are you okay? Where are you? We're coming to save you. In the dark, Diying couldn't see the tunnel. He could only hear her voice, not see her. Chief, we tigers will handle the beast. You go save her. The twin dragons are shedding their skin, so they're at their weakest. The tiger clan brought over 20 people. They worked together and killed the beast on the spot. Diying found Mu Yunyun in the tunnel. He immediately checked her all over. Seeing she only had a few scrapes, he finally relaxed. And this is? The young man who was about to smack the beast dead, to show Mu Yun how tough he was now scowling at these uninvited guests. Just then, the Tiger Clan members dug out the twin dragon's inner core and came over. Chief, take this inner core as a small apology from the Tiger Clan. Suddenly, the Tiger Man stopped mid-sentence, his face full of disbelief. Mu Yun's heart tightened. Crap, this kid just escaped the Tiger Clan. If they catch him and drag him back, that'd be bad. She calmly stepped in front of the young man. He's with me now, whatever you want, name it. Those 5 words made both the Eagle and Tiger Clans explode. Mu Yun meant that he used to be the Tiger Clan slave. Now that they're bound by a contract, by custom, she'd have to pay up. But that's not how the Eagle and Tiger Clans heard it. Diying's look at Mu Yun completely changed. Badass, she still made a contract in this situation. This girl plays hardcore. The Tiger Clan was also stunned. A little Snow Weasel clan actually did that to their leader? An awkward silence filled the air. The young man's face turned bright red, wishing he could crawl into a hole. And that reaction from the Tiger Clan's big, rough guys made their jaws drop. Is this really their decisive leader? Diying was the first to snap out of it. This isn't the place to talk, let's go outside. Mu Yun turned to meet the young man's golden amber eyes. Don't worry, with me here, they won't mess with you. Oh, I never asked your name. Dishi opened his mouth, then swallowed his words. Please, mistress, give me a name. The young man's voice was clear and his beautiful amber eyes looked at her seriously. It made Mu Yun a little embarrassed. He was just too beautiful. 7 parts obedient, 3 parts wild. Mu Yun couldn't help reaching out to touch the tattoo on the young man's neck. Unlike a partner contract, the master-servant contract's tattoo was like a shackle around the neck. Fierce and domineering. Her cool fingertips traced the young man's slender neck. That's the most vulnerable, deadly spot for a beast. The young man's whole body tensed, then shivered with a hidden thrill. He thought bitterly, now they were bound by contract until death. From now on, until the end, he was hers. Hers alone. I'll call you Dalyung, nice and bright, right? Dixie was speechless, that's terrible. His name, she, came from Zaihe, the god who created the sun and moon. His mother hoped he'd rule the clan like the sun god Zaihe, shining across the land. Now being called Liang, no way, he felt bright about that. But he didn't argue. With the Tiger Clan escorting them, they soon reached Tiger territory. For some reason, Mu Yun always felt the Tiger Clan's attitude toward her was a little strange. She couldn't put her finger on it. Like they were looking at a freak, mixed with a bit of sucking up. Was it because she wanted to buy slaves? She'd heard the Tiger Clan had wiped out other tribes and had plenty of slaves. Fall was coming and prey would be scarce. They probably wanted to get rid of those slaves fast. Thinking that, Mu Yun graciously accepted the Tiger Clan's hospitality, without a hint of shame. But in places she didn't know about, the Tiger Clan was in an uproar. A master-servant contract. Are you sure you saw right? I saw it clearly. The boss said anyone who blabs gets bitten to death. What else did the boss say? The boss also said he's done with the Tiger Clan. He's going to Sunset Cliff with the Snow Weasel clan. That's insane. A first-level Snow Weasel wouldn't even be a snack for the Tiger Clan. They couldn't even be bothered to wipe them out. What does such a lowly outsider have to deserve a contract with the boss? And a master-servant contract at that. Shut up, the boss is coming. Everyone fell silent instantly. So, your Tiger Clan isn't selling slaves anymore? After the new chief took over, various tribes sought. The chief's protection comes with a lot of prey. Isn't that just protection money? No wonder Liangzi managed to escape. So, can my Snow Weasel clan seek the Tiger Clan's protection? Prey or sea coins are fine. How was he supposed to answer that? The burly man looked at the young man behind Mu Yun. He smiled carefully, trying to appease. That's not a problem. The chief said our Tiger Clan rules the rainforest. We should also look out for the smaller tribes. Just do your best with the prey. Really? Mu Yun looked skeptical. But I heard the Tiger Chief is ruthless. Did he really say that? Only 40% of it is true. But on the surface, he smiled and said those were just rumors. The chief cares for other tribes and often tells us not to bully the weak. He swore on his chest. Don't worry, as long as your Snow Weasel clan brings prey on time, no one in the rainforest will mess with you. Hearing that, Mu Yun felt relieved. Paying protection money was totally fine. She immediately pulled out a pouch of sea coins. Is this enough? If not, I'll send more after the summer season. The pouch of sea coins stunned everyone. Those are sea coins. Really? How could the Snow Weasel clan have sea coins? And so many? Why not? I heard the Snow Weasel clan is backed by the Kishi of Jiangshui. The Kishi are good at trade, they have sea coins like oil endless. The crowd that was just grumbling now looked envious. The Tiger clan of the Rainforest's mother clan is the Dezhong of Yuanzhou. The Dezhong have many branches, full of infighting and power struggles. They were forced to split off and settle in the rainforest. Even so, the old chief wanted to grow into a big clan and return to the main family with honor. But most prey in the rainforest are three-striped beasts. Their strength has been stuck. With sea coins, they wouldn't have to force protection fees. They could ease tensions with other tribes and get them to willingly join and form a clan. The Tiger clan's look at DCX changed completely. The boss is sacrificing himself for the Tiger clan. They've decided. The Tiger clan is taking this free ride. Can't let the boss down. Actually, a master-servant contract isn't that bad. If he gets pregnant, he'll rise through the kid. Right, the boss will be fine. Everyone switched sides instantly. Seeing Million about to leave, they came to see her off. Million didn't expect the Tiger clan to be so warm. These big, tough tiger guys look scary. Like gangsters, but they're actually kind of sweet. Oh, here's the inner core from that male and female dragon, please take it. That pair of dragons actually produced an inner core. Didabang was surprised. What's the inner core for? Million had never heard of it. Inner cores are a huge boost, Didabang said. High-striped beasts all have them. It's a treasure that boosts cultivation. Hearing it boosts cultivation, Million quickly put it in her beast skin pouch. Let's go, Liangzi. Million was in a good mood, eager to get back to her clan. Our Snow Weasel clan isn't like the Tiger clan, we don't have houses yet. We can only live in caves. If you're not comfortable, just say so. Million climbed onto the Eagle clan member's back and reached out to him. Those hands had clear joints, slender and long. The young man stared blankly. Behind him were his mother clan's people. The nights he was bullied and assaulted. The dark swamp he couldn't escape. He looked up at the morning sun breaking through the fog. It stung his eyes, making him dizzy. He took a step forward. He reached out and grabbed it firmly. From then on, he'd ride with the light until death. A little female from the Snow Weasel clan brought back a slave from the Tiger clan. This news shocked the entire Eagle clan. Skinny, covered in injuries. Acted all tough, wouldn't talk to anyone. So what? Look at how good-looking he is. The young female's eyes lit up. Even prettier than the Fox clan. Wonder if he's any good in that department. The young females giggled, covering their mouths. What about Yeyu then? Someone asked, but Yeyu didn't say anything. One sentence killed the Eagle clan's playful mood. The Snow Weasel clan got in with the Kishi of Jiangshui. Their business was clearly growing bigger. Even the Tiger clan had to lower themselves. They couldn't help but worry. With the bond still not sealed, the marriage alliance could fall apart at any moment. Soon the Snow Weasel clan would look down on the Eagle clan even more. The chief had brought it up many times, but they never agreed. And now they bring back another one. TSK, just a slave, look at you all, so pathetic. So what if he's a slave? If he has a cub, it's all the same. The Eagle clan sighed in frustration. But over in the Snow Weasel clan, Musi felt much more at ease. After all, he had a cub to secure his place. A slave couldn't shake him. But Yeyu, don't overthink it. Yunyun's always been soft-hearted. She only brought him back because she felt sorry for him. It's fine. You couldn't quite describe how he felt. He could wait. Wait for her to slowly accept him. Now the Snow Weasel clan was no longer the one that had been helpless when nearly wiped out. The Kishi of Jiangshui valued them. The Dezhong Tiger clan made promises. Even the Eagle clan relied on them to get by. Her future partner would definitely be no less than him. There might even be more. He could wait, but she might not need him to. Musi placed the cub into Yeyu's arms. I'll head out now, don't overthink it. The two were just acquaintances as Mu Yun's partners. But now that an outsider was involved, things were different. Mu Yun had no idea about any of this. She sat there holding a fist-sized inner core. In the grass nest, staring at DKX. You mean just eat it? Mu Yun swallowed, wouldn't this choke her? She wiped the inner core again with animal hide. Thinking of Di Ying's words, she steeled herself and took a bite. The moment she bit through, without even swallowing, she just took a breath and it went straight down. Mu Yun opened her eyes, her hands were empty. The fist-sized inner core was gone just like that. So? DKX asked. Nothing. It just felt like I took a breath, and my whole body Felt warm and cozy, pretty nice. DKX frowned, there should be some reaction. Seeing the young man couldn't explain it either. Muyun just lay down to rest. Make do here for now. Sunset Cliff only has one cave. The nest house outside isn't finished. Muyun, worried he'd feel out of place, let him stay in her cave. Not long after lying down, Muyun's mind exploded. Countless system notification sounds blasted inside her head. Muyun was startled. What's going on? She quickly opened her panel and saw that her experience bar was rapidly increasing. But before she could be happy, her whole body felt burning hot. The earlier warmth turned into a scorching heat, making her restless. Her body tingled unbearably, she instinctively stood up. But her legs gave out and she fell straight down. The expected pain never came. Muyun opened her eyes and saw the young man holding her waist. His amber eyes blazed with fire, igniting the fire inside Muyun too. The young man asked, "You okay?" Her answer was a fierce, conquering kiss. Muyun was losing her mind. She didn't know the serpents in her core helped. She pinned him down. The campfire crackled as their shadows merged on the cliff wall. Pain. Her whole body screamed, her back felt like it was breaking. Muyun woke up groggily. She opened her eyes and was startled by what she saw. The fire had burned out, ashes blowing everywhere. The young man beside her was covered in bruises, especially his collarbone. Proof of last night's wildness. She swallowed hard, completely stunned. Fragments of memory tore into her mind, inch by inch. She was so ashamed she wanted to crawl into a hole. She was never eating that inner core again. The next morning, Muyun woke up groggily, her whole body aching. She saw the young man's bruised collarbone beside her. Fragments of memory tore into her mind, inch by inch. She was so ashamed she couldn't face herself. She was never eating that inner core again. Thinking of the core, she quickly opened her system panel. She had actually leveled up. Her small plot of land was not only bigger, but there was also a small stream next to it. Just then, another surprise hit her hard. The system notified 1,000 points. Reward received, please check. Muyun was a bit stunned. 1,000 points? Where did that come from? Did the system finally grow a conscience? Was it a level up reward? With that in mind, she used the points to refine one. Satisfied with the marrow cleansing pill, she left the space. She was about to test the pill's effects. But she unexpectedly met a pair of fiery, golden eyes. Master. After a wild night, Muyun now faced the master, awkwardly wanting to disappear. Dixie saw her expression and his eyes darkened. He was just a slave, a plaything. He forced a bond with you without your consent. Even if it was because of the inner core, I'm still to blame. But we've already kissed. Now that it's like this, even if you don't want it, there's no choice. We've kissed and done it. And what do you mean, even if I don't want it, there's no choice? But somehow, such crude words made him feel even better. He was hers alone. That feeling actually excited him. Even his bones tingled with the thrill of being claimed. Muyun didn't know what he was thinking. She started talking to herself again. I wonder if I'll get pregnant this time. If I have a cub, that'd be great. You want to have a cub? Dixie looked at her in disbelief. Of course. With a cub comes points, and with points, I can level up. Dixie was shocked. No female wants cubs. The father is a slave, he reminded her. So what? Muyun didn't care about that. Besides, we made a pact with heaven and earth, so we're partners. I never saw you as a slave. Dixie felt annoyed again. She would have many partners, but only one slave him. That was a bond between them that no one else shared. Still, she said she didn't mind having a cub with him. He couldn't deny that made him happy. He didn't care about having a cub as long as she didn't reject him. By the way, what level are you? Just one step away from high rank. That was a lie. After killing his father and brother, Dixie had already reached the top. Peak of level 5, one step from level 6. But level 4 already seriously impressed Muyun. Your cultivation is that high? High-level cubs also earn more points. Muyun looked at him like he was a hot commodity. It's still early, want to lie down a bit longer? Dixie glanced outside the cave at the sky, but didn't want to call her out on it, until a pair of hands wrapped around his lean waist. What did you say? Yunyan bonded with him. Hearing his clansman's words, Musi still couldn't process it. Even though he was prepared, he didn't expect it to happen so fast. And that's not all. They haven't left the cave all day. Musi, you need to think about your cub too. How is that possible? Yunyan isn't like that. He knew her nature, she wasn't someone who indulged in pleasure. You don't know how that little slave has Yunyan wrapped around his finger. If this keeps up, then... Musi let out a sigh. If she truly likes him, a few wild days don't matter. If I try to talk her out of it, I'll just put her in a tough spot. Let's deal with this later. Muzi had his status. He was Mu Yun's formerly bonded partner. Same clan, same roots, and they had a cub. Of course he wouldn't stoop to competing with a slave. Oh, and the Eagle clan chief is worried that this might cause bad blood between the two tribes. Just mentioning it gave Muzi a headache. Once I'm done here, I'll head over. A wave of helplessness washed over him. Just managing the tribe's affairs was already more than he could handle. And on top of that, taking care of the cub left him stretched thin. But matters between the two tribes. One wrong move and it'd be way over his head. This is the downside of having few partners. Sure, other females' partners bicker and compete in private. But when trouble hits, they band together, talk it out, and share the load. Meanwhile, his own proper mate keeps putting off the bonding ceremony. And when he finally finds someone he likes, she's a slave. Worrying so much, he stood up and had barely stepped out when he ran into Yeyu. Weren't you on patrol? Why are you back so soon? Muzi cautiously studied Yeyu's expression. He had no idea how much Yeyu knew about this. The Owl clan has arrived. That fast? Mu Bai was shocked. Weren't they supposed to set up shops? That was less than half a month ago. With Jiang Shui Kishi coordinating, this pace isn't even that quick. You set down the stone arrows he had been carrying on his back. The chief wants to see you. As if remembering something, you added. I already talked to the Eagle clan, they know how to handle it. It was only a matter of time. Muzi couldn't help but try to comfort him. She's just a slave, don't let it get to you. Ye's expression was flat. What she does isn't something he can control. What could he even say? The important stuff comes first, go ahead. Remembering the task at hand, Muzi handed the cub over to him. I'll be back soon. On the other side, Tianzhong paced back and forth, thrilled. The shops are all set up and demand is through the roof everywhere. Even Jiang Shui Kishi didn't expect such a hot sell. He hurried over to prepare for the next shipment. Here's last month's profit. He opened the leather pouch, it was full of pearls. So bright and dazzling, Mushin was startled. These are actually pearls. 1,000 sea coins only get you 1 pearl. That leather pouch has hundreds of pearls in it. And that's not all, that's just last month's. Once this shop is fully set up, the profit will be way more than that. The Owl clan is riding that wave too. They've got a lot more backbone now. Mushin gasped. Next to him, Muzi was completely stunned. Tianzhong was a little proud seeing their reactions. When he first found out, he was way calmer than them. It's all right. Tianzhong turned and his eyes lit up when he saw Mu Yan walk in. He eagerly stepped forward to share the good news. But when he saw the person behind her, he froze in terror. His legs went weak and he instinctively wanted to kneel. But the other person shot him a warning look. Tianzhong didn't dare move a muscle. His heart pounded and his back was soaked with sweat. It was the instinctive fear of a king's pressure. That was the Tiger clan chief. They were the ones who started the slave trade. The Owl clan set it all up. There's no way he didn't recognize him. He once saw this guy bite a trader's neck clean off. The head rolling and blood spraying everywhere was unforgettable. Just thinking about it gave him chills. How could Yunyan be involved with that devil? And this is? Tianzhong fought the urge to kneel and asked carefully. This is Liangzi, even though we have a master-servant contract. He's my partner now. What? A master-servant contract. Tianzhong glanced over, he hadn't dared look before. Now he saw the contract brand on the other guy's neck. That discovery freaked him out. The mighty Tiger clan chief of Yuanzhou Dizhong, a peak 5th stage, actually made a master-servant contract with a 1st stage snow weasel? And their partners? Tianzhong was seriously shocked. He heard the Tiger clan broke away from Dizhong and crowned themselves king in Guiyu Forest. Even though they weren't the main bloodline, Dizhong would never allow clan members to marry outsiders. Plus, DCX killed his father and brother. That ruthlessness scared the main family. After the Fire God Festival, the Dizhong chief already arranged a marriage for him. But now the Snow Weasel clan actually made a contract with the Tiger clan. That would definitely offend Dizhong. If Dizhong gets furious, it means extinction for the Snow Weasel clan. Tianzhong sorted out the key issues. He broke out in a cold sweat. He and the Snow Weasel clan were in the same boat. Now they were tied together like grasshoppers on a string. If the Snow Weasel clan gets wiped out, what about his owl clan's future? What's wrong? Is there a problem with the shop setup? Seeing Tianzhong's pale face, Mu Yan asked with concern. Tianzhong snapped back to reality. Forget the shop at a time like this. What's the point of earning more pearls if your Snow Weasel clan won't live to spend them? Of all clans to mess with, you picked the tiger clan? Tianjiang's head was spinning. But he didn't dare offend the Jiangshui clan either, so he stated his purpose first. The shop is set up and the first batch of goods sold really well. Now we just wait for your new orders, Yunyan. Once these woven goods sell out, next month we'll sell pottery. Pottery? I knew you'd come, so I already prepared samples. Mu Yun reached out. DCX handed the item over. This is pottery, there are many more styles. A bowl with auspicious cloud and beast patterns came into view. It was small and exquisitely crafted, absolutely stunning. Seeing this, Tianzhong instantly forgot about Dizhong. He carefully held the bowl. It's so light. Nowadays, the big clans no longer drink blood raw. They've long switched to stone pots, stone bowls, and bamboo utensils. But stone bowls are heavy, take time to make, and are expensive. Bamboo tubes are convenient but get moldy and rot. Nothing beats this pottery for looks. More importantly, even a long time. Trader like him couldn't figure out how it's made. That means the craft can't be copied or replaced. This is gonna make a fortune. How much are these? I don't know much about pricing, so feel free to decide. But I have some ideas you might want to hear, Chief. The chief nodded eagerly. Go ahead. To make this pottery look so fine. The process is really complicated, so output is low. If we focus on utility for lower quality pieces, we can mass produce. That way, rarity makes the high quality pottery even more expensive. This style of pottery comes in 7 types per set. A full set has 36 pieces. We should also emphasize that new styles come out every month. Once sold, they're one of a kind. That makes a complete set even rarer. After he finished, the nest house was dead silent. The chief was totally impressed. No wonder the shaman values the Snow Weasel clan so much. Even if it means sharing profits, cooperating with Yun Yun, your ideas are really. This is about playing up the beast's vanity. Those big clans will definitely buy it. Even he wanted to keep a set for himself. If guests came over and he brought out a set, that would be a huge flex. His grin stretched from ear to ear. Yun Yun, given our clan's relationship, how about selling me a set first? Selling, I've already set aside 2 sets. One for the shaman and the other is specially saved for you, Chief. You saved one for me? Of course, Mu Yun said with a smile. Enough said, from now on. We're family, so no need for formalities. Hearing that, Tianjiang's old face was touched. He's always had to depend on others. No one has ever been so sincere with him. In that case, I won't hold back. He decided to stick with the Snow Weasel clan from now on. Mu Qian saw the conversation was wrapping up and spoke up. The clan has prepared meat and wine. Why not eat before you go? No, that's not necessary. I need to take these pottery pieces back right away, can't delay. Then I won't keep you, Chief Tian. Another time for sure. Tianzhong grabbed the pottery and left without wasting a moment. Since he decided to be loyal to the Snow Weasel clan, he had to plan for the future. The Dizhong clan, that major threat, can only be matched by the Jiangshui clan. That night, he went to Jiangshui and offered the pottery. A full set of exquisite black pottery was laid out. The shaman was amazed and fell in love with it at first sight. Tianzhong gave a flattering smile. These are called pottery, sent by Yun. Tianzhong repeated Mu Yun's words exactly. After hearing it, the shaman was thrilled. Good. He said good 3 times, already eager to get started. Shaman, don't rush, the earliest will be next month. No rush, everything goes by Yun's plan. Seeing the old shaman in high spirits, Tianzhong cautiously asked. I heard the mistress gave birth to a cub. What are your plans, Chief? Mentioning this, the shaman's smile faded a bit. What plans? We'll wait until the cub grows up. I have an idea, but I'm not sure if I should say it. Let's hear it. A cub without a mother's clan isn't ideal. If you don't mind, shaman, I have someone in mind. The shaman frowned. He was also very satisfied with Mu Yun. But the owl clan's status is just too low. It's really just a title for show. The shaman's resolve began to waver. The beast god's laws of heaven and earth aren't just for show. A male who's made a contract must stay faithful. That means even in a political marriage, no intimacy. What female would agree to that? On the other side, Chiyu lounged on a tiger skin couch, with dragon silk brocade trailing to the floor. The cub in his arms was fast asleep. But unlike before, he looked exhausted. Since giving birth, he couldn't sleep well at night. He'd grown haggard. The shaman entered and respectfully handed him a bowl of medicine. Chiyu lifted his eyelids and frowned slightly. This is dragon soul. Dragon soul is refined from the essence blood of the Flood Dragon clan, rare and expensive. Years ago, he did drink it often. But with the clan's current struggles, he wouldn't insist on it. The shaman reassured him, dragon soul is best for calming the spirit and strengthening the yang. Master, you've been working hard for the cub, drink it while it's hot. Mentioning the cub, Chiyu sighed inwardly. He took it anyway but still instructed. The clan's supplies have their limits, no need to go out of your way for me. We've had good income this month. The clan set up shops in various states. Just from fixed sales, we collected 100 bushels of eastern pearls. Hearing that, Chiyu was a bit surprised. That much? The shaman nodded. It was the Owl clan's clever idea. These tools are also the Owl clan's craftsmanship. Chiyu looked down and noticed the medicine vessel was exquisitely crafted. The Owl clan? Which Owl clan? Chiyu couldn't recall. The night bird tribe was vast, let alone a small clan like the owls. The idea came from a little female in their clan. I've met her in person. For someone so young, her insights are unique, even I admire her. Seeing Chiyu's skeptical look, the shaman nodded firmly. Would you like to meet her, master? The Owl clan did well, even a few words of encouragement would be good. Chiyu couldn't help glancing at the cub in her arms. Let's wait until the cub is a little older. That meant yes. The shaman was thrilled. A meeting meant there was a chance. This match was already half settled. After all, he'd never seen a female who looked that good. Gentle, kind, and smart too. For the cub's sake, the master would surely agree to it. The shaman figured the Owl clan wasn't strong enough yet. They still relied on the Jiangshui clan. But who knows if they'll switch sides later. This marriage would keep them in check and strengthen the bond. All gain, no loss. Tianzhong was thinking the same thing. Can't say it too plainly. If it falls through, that'd be worse, better to set up the meeting first. I brought the pottery over and the shaman really liked it. He said he'd like to meet in person sometime. It just depends on when you're free, Yun. Of course, Mu Yun said with a smile. But I need to make pottery and find clay these days. Building the kiln will take some work too, let's wait until after the rainy season. Hearing that, Tianjiang's face crinkled into a smile. Just waiting for them to meet. The chief went to great lengths to find someone to take care of her man's child. Finally found a good match, just waiting for them to meet. Little did they know, the two had already gotten together. The man had even had her child. But the mom took off right after and had no idea. Just as Mu Yun was swamped trying to spread the pottery craft, Dixie suddenly spoke up. What about the Tiger clan? The Tiger clan? The chief's eyes went wide, messing with them was asking for trouble. Dixie didn't want to respond. Master, what do you think of the Tiger clan's territory? Mu Yun said softly, if the Tiger clan agrees, that would be great. But there's no way they'll agree. To her surprise, not only did those big tough guys nod in agreement, they got super excited and hollered like monkeys. Dixie shot them a glare from behind. And they stopped laughing, looking awkward. Brother Liang said it's just a matter of territory. As long as the sea coins are enough, no problem. Mu Yun was a bit suspicious at first, since nothing comes for free, but when she heard they needed cash, her doubt slowly faded. Sure enough, money is loved everywhere. And right now, she had plenty to spare. This is a small token from the Snow Weasel clan, please accept it. Mu Yun pulled out an Eastern pearl from her pocket and handed it over. This is an Eastern pearl. The big guys were shocked it was way too much. One Eastern pearl was worth 1,000 sea coins. They had never even seen 1,000 sea coins before. The big guys were so moved they almost cried. Is it not enough? Dixie let out a cold, sinister laugh. Mu Gong was startled, afraid he'd lose his temper, and quickly smiled. He's just got a bad temper, don't mind him, guys. No problem, no problem. The tough guys quickly waved their hands, scared of getting on the boss's bad side. They reluctantly took the Eastern pearl. This is way too much. Everyone chimed in, grinning goofily. Mu Yun wanted to say more, but suddenly smelled a whiff of alcohol that made her nauseous. Mu Yun covered her mouth. I guess the wine's too strong, I'm a bit dizzy. The shaman nearby quickly came over from the table and saw that Mu Yun was pregnant. He had awakened a wood spirit root so he could see without taking a pulse. Yun, you're carrying a cub. What? 3 voices rang out at once. Everyone gathered around instantly. Mu Yun herself was genuinely shocked. I'm really carrying a cub. The system didn't alert me, how is that possible? The Snow Weasel clan exchanged glances. They'd been living with Mu Bai this whole time. If she was pregnant, then... The Tiger clan's hearts were pounding. Seeing the Snow Weasel clan's expressions, the answer was obvious. They anxiously looked at Dixie. But Dixie wasn't looking at them. He stood frozen, still processing the shock. How could he have a cub? He tried to read Mu Yun's face for even a hint of disgust or rejection. But there was none. By then, Mu Gong had snapped out of her surprise. She looked at him happily, eyes bright. What's wrong, cat? Got your tongue? Those four words almost made the Tiger Clan leap with joy. It really was their Tiger Clan's cub. A few burly men held back their excitement. Mu Bai walked over to someone, clear the wine away. Then he instructed Dixie. Pregnancy is hard on a female, make sure she doesn't overwork herself. Stay by her side and do your best. Make sure the cub is born safely. The words carried a tone of reprimand. Dixie listened without getting angry, taking it in stride. After all, the first bonded partner, even if not favored by the mistress, still deserved extra respect. Then the shaman suddenly spoke up. This cub was conceived through medicine, it might be weak at birth. You need to be extremely careful. Hearing that, Mu Gong grew anxious too. They were about to deliver the pottery. At this critical moment, she had to oversee everything closely. Yun, our Tiger Clan is large and we've received a lot from you. So of course we want to do our best to repay you. Just tell us what work needs doing, we've got plenty of strength. That's right, the Tiger Clan elders thumped their chests loudly, afraid to be even a second late. Outside, a cub's status depends on the mother's clan. If the mother's clan is powerful, the cub's status is high. Inside, it depends on the father's clan. If the father's clan is powerful, the cub gets more attention in the tribe. For the tiger cub's future, their Tiger Clan had to grow strong. Seeing the Tiger Clan's attitude, Mu Yun didn't hold back either. In that case, I'll trouble you all. My Snow Weasel clan is currently building kilns to make pottery. The process is complicated. I'll teach you everything. Still a 10% cut like I said before. How about it? Deal. Like I said, if the sea coins are there, there's nothing we can't get done. They were a bunch of grown men who'd normally be too embarrassed to take payment. But now it was different. The leader's position was secure. So they felt confident reaching out. The feast was cut short. The Tiger Clan brothers went back happily. Mu Yun was also forced to stay inside the cave and not step out. That one phrase, weak at birth, made the Snow Weasel clan worry endlessly. No one cared whose cub it was anymore. Everyone was chattering about building her a nest house. Mu Yun couldn't help but smile, but as she scanned the crowd, she didn't see Yu. Where's Yu? At the mention of Yu, everyone looked at each other. I think I saw him carrying a cub back earlier. Mu Yun nodded and didn't think much of it, just saying. I remember last time the Owl clan brought to find black fox pelts. Right, they came with the eastern pearls. They said the black fox from Cheongzhou is extremely rare. I figured the weather wasn't right for them yet, so I put them away. Then she heard Mu Bai ask, do you need them now? Mu Yun instructed, Mu Bai, these two black fox pelts. Give one to the Eagle clan and the other to Yeyu. Hearing this, Mu Bai felt overjoyed. He had been worried Yeyu would be upset about what happened today. This black fox pelt would cheer him up. Mu Bai was soft-hearted and as a father, even more gentle and attentive. He also took good care of his mate's other partners. Over here, Yeyu stroked the fox pelt under his fingers, lost in thought for a long time. Mu Bai said with a smile, the rainy season is coming and it's getting colder every day. You go out to patrol and set up defenses every day. Yun was worried about you and specially got this fox pelt. She does care about you. Especially for me? You didn't quite believe it. Of course it's true, if she didn't care about you, why would she send me to deliver it? Mu Bai sighed, I'm not afraid to tell you this. But since our bonding night, Yun and I haven't been close either. I heard from the shaman that this pregnancy happened because she accidentally ate a dragon's inner core. It boosted her energy, which made her act on impulse. Otherwise, the baby wouldn't be so weak. Hearing weak, Ye's heart tightened. The shaman said this baby came from that medicine. We don't know if it will be born safely this time. What else did the shaman say? Yeyu asked urgently. Nothing much, just that she can't stress or overwork herself. She worries about the Snow Weasel clan every day. You and I both see that. He thought she hated him and didn't want to bond with him, which was why she kept avoiding him. Of course, he also made excuses for her. She was busy. Busy with the clan's survival and development, busy with the future. But when he heard she was pregnant, it felt like he was just fooling himself. She liked a slave more than she liked him. But hearing Mu Bai's words, and knowing it was because of the serpent's inner core, he felt much more at ease. The two beast husbands never expected that the mistress's new, clingy and scrawny slave actually had a different identity. Yu thought of something and asked, Did you see the Tiger Clan's attitude about building the kiln? What attitude? Muzi was just happy for Mu Yun and didn't notice anything wrong. Yi Yu said, the Tiger Clan are a bunch of raiders, even for sea coins. They wouldn't willingly give up their territory. I heard the Tiger Clan was driven out by the Dezhong clan of Yuanzhou. They want to return to their original clan, but that side looks down on them. And to keep the Tiger Clan in check, they forced their chief, Dishi, to marry a lowly slave from the main clan. That slave was the clan leader's daughters. What nurse, over 30 years older than him? Even so, the Tiger Clan chose to swallow their pride and not defy the main clan. Plus, the Dezhong clan collects tribute from the Tiger Clan every year. Counting the days, it should be about time. Yi Yu frowned. How do you know all this? Last time the Owl clan came, I heard Chief Chan say it himself. So that's how it is. Yi Yu let go of his doubts, but still felt something was off. He tried to think it through but couldn't figure it out. So he let it go. Meanwhile, Mu Yun opened the system panel and clicked on the description of the marrow cleansing pill. Cleanses the marrow, opens the meridians, and sharpens the mind. For pregnant women, it strengthens the baby's body. Mu Yun's eyes widened. She'd heard the shaman say the baby's energy was weak. And she'd been worried sick every day. She never thought the marrow cleansing pill could do this. She couldn't wait to take it. But the moment she swallowed it, her whole body suddenly felt burning hot. It was different from the serpent's inner core. This time, the heat felt like being inside a furnace. It made her sweat all over, as if she was being cleansed from head to toe. It wasn't uncomfortable at all. In fact, it felt amazing. After a while, that feeling faded away. In its place came a tingling itch, like thousands of ants gnawing at her muscles and bones. The pain was so bad she rolled on the ground and screamed. Dixie heard her and rushed over, totally freaked out. He quickly caught her. That's when he noticed she was covered in mud and reeked. This is marrow cleansing. He had grown up in the Dezhong clan. All the clan's young members got the chance to undergo marrow cleansing, awaken their spiritual veins. That's also why the Tiger Clan wanted to return to the main family. Only the big clans knew how to cleanse marrow and awaken the spirit. Could it be that Yunyan figured it out on her own? Just as he thought that, a flame rose from Mu Yun's fingertip. That's a fire's spiritual vein. The next second, wood, metal, water, and earth. Dixie couldn't even describe how he felt. Having two types was already unheard of. 5 spiritual veins was something he'd never even heard of. He wouldn't even dare to imagine it. When Mu Yun woke up, it was already daylight. She sat up groggily from the bed. She felt better than ever. She had endless energy. Mu Chan's excited voice snapped Mu Yun back to reality. That's when she noticed the cave was packed with people. Her heart skipped a beat. Did something happen? The chief said excitedly. Yun, you awaken your spiritual veins. As happy as if she had awakened them herself. Mu Yun looked totally shocked. It's true, Liangzi saw it with his own eyes. Mu Yun looked at Di as if asking if it was real. The young man nodded gently. He was sure he hadn't been mistaken. I actually awakened my spiritual veins. Mu Yun was thrilled, so this was what the marrow cleansing pill did. She was overjoyed by the huge surprise. If the marrow cleansing pill works this well, then could our Snow Weasel clan all awaken our spiritual veins? Looks like Yunyan's babies really are our Snow Weasel clan's little lucky charms. But why didn't I feel anything when I awakened my spiritual veins? Besides feeling a little lighter, I didn't notice much else. The shaman stepped forward. Awakening spiritual veins also depends on fate and insight. To put it simply, it comes down to 4 words. What 4 words? Mind and spirit as one. He had awakened his wood spiritual veins as a child, so he knew a thing or two about it. For example, our shaman lineage awakens the essence of plants. With just one look, we can see a person's illness. Liangzi, which spiritual vein did Yunyan awaken? Mu Yun looked up. She was curious too. Di said calmly, the power of the 5 elements. What? Everyone gasped. Even Yeyu couldn't help but look at her. I've heard that awakening to veins in a major clan is already rare in this world. Even the ancient Candle Dragon lineage in 1,000 years only awakened 1 for vein genius. 5 veins is completely unprecedented and unheard of. Everyone's scalp tingled. Not only could their Yunyan give birth, but she was also this powerful? Mu Chan's eyes flickered, but he wasn't as happy as expected. He opened his mouth as if to say something, but swallowed it back. Until our Snow Weasel clan can protect itself, this must never be spoken of aloud, Mu Chan warned seriously. Everyone calmed down. He was right. If a bunch of fragile weaklings like us went around shouting, we'd be asking for death. Mu Yun agreed, but Actually, I have a way to help everyone awaken their spiritual veins, she said, pulling a pill from her pocket. This pill is called the marrow cleansing pill. It cleanses the meridians and reshapes the bones and muscles. But right now, I only have to. Chief, look. The shaman looked shocked. It was actually a marrow cleansing pill. Everyone says only high-ranking clans know how to awaken spiritual veins. Actually, once a shaman reaches a high rank, they can refine pills. This marrow cleansing pill is the key to awakening spiritual veins. He turned to Mu Yun and asked gently, Yun, where did you get such a precious pill? High rank. She could refine it at rank 2. If she had enough points, she could eat marrow cleansing pills like candy. But Mu Yun didn't say that. She made up an excuse. Last time I went to Yuanzhou with the Owl clan. Their great shaman gave it to me as a sign of goodwill. The shaman understood. The rank 5 Nightbird clan does have that ability. The marrow cleansing pill is complicated to make, only one per year. For him to give it away shows he really values you, Yun. So, Chief, who should we give these to too? Yun, this is the Nightbird clan's goodwill to you. Give them to whoever you want. Everyone stared at her. Mu Yun's face stiffened. The 2 pills felt like hot potatoes. She actually wanted to say she could make more. Mu Yun thought it over. Chief, you've worked hard for the Snow Weasel clan. This marrow cleansing pill has amazing health benefits, so it should go to you. The other one should go to the eldest kid. That was the safest plan Mu Yun could think of. One for the chief, one for the youngest. That way, no one could complain. But Mu Tian shook his head. Yun, I'm old, 1 foot in the grave. Don't waste such a precious pill on me. Muzi also spoke up. I heard that in the big clans. They only take the marrow cleansing pill after coming of age. The eldest can't use it right now either. This put Mu Yun in a tough spot again. Then the chief spoke up. Liangzi, Yun says you're at the peak of the 4th level. Is that true? Dixie didn't expect Mu Tian to ask that, so he just nodded. Mu Tian understood. Yun, how about this, 1 pill for Liangzi, 1 for Yeyu? What do you think? Yeyu and Dixie both looked at Mu Tian. They never expected him to arrange it that way. After all, they were outsiders. Plus, Yeyu hadn't even formally bonded with Mu Yun. And Dixie was just a slave with no status. Dixie was shocked. Even in the big clans, a marrow cleansing pill is extremely precious. And big clans care most about blood ties. Even if they had good stuff, they'd give it to their own people first. There's no way they'd think of outsiders. You thought the same. He hadn't formally bonded with Mu Yun yet. The laws of heaven hadn't even come down. Weren't they afraid he'd take the pill and betray them? Mu Tian's old, weathered face looked at them with a kind smile. You're both Yun's partners. When she takes over as chief, you'll need to help her out, so don't refuse. The clan members chimed in when they heard the chief. That's right, you're Yun's partners. We're all family, no need for formalities. Besides, the clan's young ones aren't grown yet. We old folks can't do much. It's up to you young people. Their warmth made both of them feel touched. So they stopped hesitating and accepted gracefully. Dixie placed the pill over his heart, feeling a wave of warmth inside. This was something he'd never experienced in the Tiger clan. Family. He savored those words, then glanced at Mu Yun's belly. Now he had a family too. When everyone came out, Mu Bai was genuinely happy for Yu. From now on, the cubs are in your hands. With you as their stepfather watching over them, they'll grow up safe. The little snow weasel cubs were already half a year old, right in their most mischievous phase. One moment they'd bite Yu's arm. The next they'd scramble onto his head. What a lively scene. Yu's heart softened as he looked at the cubs. He'd always been content as the homemaker of the family, never imagining that their little snow weasel clan held such a huge secret. Just now, Mu Tian had come to find him. He glanced outside. It was already the 3rd watch of the night. Muzi's heart pounded as he saw Mu Tian's worried face, so he quickly poured some water and handed it over. Is the chief here about the kiln? Mu Tian shook his head. The Tiger clan has you young folks. What's there for an old man like me to worry about? He sighed and looked out of the cave. On both sides of the sunset cliff, the nest houses were taking shape. Everything was moving in a good direction. But, Yun awakening her spiritual vein, I don't know if it's a good thing. His weathered, lined face was clouded with worry. But then it hardened with resolve. There's something I've kept buried in my heart. I plan to take it to my grave. But now I can't hold back anymore. Muzi's heart skipped a beat as he saw Mu Tian pull a box from his chest. This is a sacred relic. The sacred relic of the Snow Weasel clan. It's what got our clan wiped out by the Fox clan back then. Muzi's heart raced as he carefully took it. When he saw what was inside, his face went pale. "Chief, this is..." Muchan wasn't surprised by his reaction, he just sighed. "Back then, our Snow Weasel clan was forced to leave. The snow domain was all for this item. How is that possible? Mubai, just remember this. Unless there's absolutely no other choice. Don't ever tell Yan." Mubai's mind was in a daze, he still couldn't accept it. He was forced to know something he couldn't share with anyone. Shocked and terrified inside, he knew how small and insignificant he was. How could he possibly hold onto such a huge secret? "Muzi, I'm old. This secret must be kept. It's about Yan Yan's safety." Muzi nodded, his heart already heavy beyond words. So when Yan Yan awakened her 5 elements meridian, the chief wasn't surprised at all. Muchan smiled, gazing into the distance, lost in thought. After a long while he spoke. "The bloodline of that great one would never be ordinary. That great one." Thinking about what the chief said, Muzi's heart grew even heavier. On the other side, the Tiger clan moved fast and built the kiln in 3 days. Mu Yan kept her word and taught them everything about pottery. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. The whole Tiger clan was overjoyed and full of energy. In less than half a month, they delivered the first batch of pottery. Well, we had nothing better to do, so we rushed and got it done. The leading Tiger clan elder smiled sheepishly. "Brother Tiger, you're too kind." Mu Yan really didn't expect them to be this fast. "Yan Yan, how are these?" Huers Wang asked a bit nervously, then sneaked a glance at their leader. Mu Yan smiled. "They're great, keep making them to this standard." Hearing that, Huers Wang breathed a sigh of relief. His heart finally settled back down. He hurried off to start the next batch. Soon, Tianzhong came to pick up the goods. The next day, it caused quite a stir in Yuanzhou territory. Pottery was lightweight, didn't attract bugs, and was cheap. Plus, it could store food. Before they could even set it all out, it was sold out. But the real showstopper was the set of black pottery with auspicious beast patterns in the center. Laid out in a row, it looked grand, solemn, and expertly crafted. As soon as it was displayed, it caught everyone's eye. How many sea coins for that set? The young females were completely drawn to this finely crafted pottery. The owl guy quickly pulled out a piece to show everyone. One of a kind, only set, limited edition, perfect for gifts. He laid on the scarcity marketing thick, leaving people stunned. Hearing that, everyone wanted more than just one piece. The owl guy smiled and said, "Sorry, this set's already been reserved. The next batch won't be ready until next month at the earliest." Of course, it's not cheap. At least 10 hu of East pearls. Ho! 10 hu of East pearls? That's a fortune. But hearing it was already spoken for, and not hard to sell, everyone got eager again. Many there were from big clans. Yuanzhou was a place where clans bordered each other with deep roots. Even the Jiangshuiqi clan couldn't compare. "We, the Dizhang clan, will take this set." A sweet voice cut through the crowd, and a young girl stepped forward. Around 17 or 18, with a clear face and a slender figure. In an era where most races still wore animal hides, she was dressed in a linen skirt. She stood out from everyone around her. The crowd parted, afraid of accidentally offending her. 10 hu of East pearls, right? Someone pay him. The owl guy looked troubled. "Miss, this set was already reserved long ago." 20 hu. Everyone gasped. 20 hu of East pearls was worth 2,000 sea coins. This Dizhang clan was really throwing money around. Yaoji ignored everyone around her. Her grandmother's birthday was coming up. She wanted to make the old lady happy. She had to have the set of pottery. The owl guy wiped his sweat, knowing this young lady couldn't be messed with. He could only force a smile. "Please wait, miss, I'll go ask our chief." "Over here." Tianzhong stayed calm, not surprised at all. He was watching from the back and heard everything clearly. As for the already reserved part, that was all fake. "Go tell the Dizhang girl that the other party won't give in. She has to offer 30 hu of East pearls to get it." "Chief, that's the Dizhang clan. What do you know?" Tianzhong rolled his eyes. "In business, you have to be honest. If you say it's reserved, you can't break the deal. If she really wants to buy it, she has to get the buyer's permission. Show 10 times the sincerity and see if they're willing to give it up." The owl guy repeated Tianzhong's words exactly. Yaoji frowned. 30 hu, that much? "Miss, maybe you should just forget it. It's too expensive if the mistress finds out." "Enough, I know what I'm doing." Yaoji looked annoyed. For her grandmother's birthday, the Dizhang clan's power and influence would draw countless big families. If she didn't stand out now, was she supposed to rely on her unloved father? To get her the position of young chief? But 30 who really did sting a bit. Suddenly, she turned to the old woman beside her. I remember your engagement to the Tiger clan is coming up, right? The old woman was 52, a family servant. The chief wanted to balance the Tiger clan, so she got lucky. Then have the Tiger clan offer 10 who of East pearls. That makes up for it. With that, she turned and took out 30 who of East pearls and took the pottery away. On the other side, when the Tiger clan got the news, it was a total shock. 10 who of East pearls? How could the Tiger clan ever have that much money? The guys were all freaking out. They definitely didn't dare to offend the main family. Maybe we should just come clean. The boss's bond was never going to stay secret. No, Tiger Wang said firmly. Our clan was given our name by the main family if we marry outside. That's betraying them, especially if it's as servants. How's that any different from slapping the Dejong clan in the face? Betraying the main family means getting wiped out. This won't work, that won't work, so what do you suggest? Tiger Wang gritted his teeth. I'll go find the boss. Sunset Cliff. The rainy season hadn't come yet, but Muyun was getting lazier. Still, the nest house was finally done. And she finally had a real place to live. She lay in bed, rubbing her swollen belly. Counting the days, she had about half a month left until the birth. She just didn't know what species it would be. According to Liangzi, his own form was ugly and hairless. She was disappointed but didn't want to bring up his pain, so she never asked. Muyun sighed, struggled to sit up and felt thirsty. Liangzi, she called out. But there was no response for a while. Confused, she got up to grab a bamboo tube for water when she heard. They want 10 who of East pearls and we just can't afford it. The brothers are panicking, so I came to ask. Wang. Under the moonlight, Wang was kneeling before DCX, reporting with a humble look. Muyun's eyes went wide. Wang is the Tiger clan's second in command. Why is he like this? All groveling and fawning. Who? Suddenly, a bamboo leaf shot toward Muyun with a sharp wind. It was so fast that Muyun instinctively fell backward. Master. The young man's vicious expression instantly changed. He grabbed her waist, looking scared and helpless. Muyun clutched her stomach, breaking out in a cold sweat. The cramping pain made her forehead drip with sweat. The young man, pale-faced, quickly carried her to the witch doctor's den. This was really bad. Wang's heart nearly stopped from fear. He never expected Muyun to show up. If anything happened to the chief's cub, killing him wouldn't be enough to make up for it. In the pitch-black night, the Snow Weasel clan's den suddenly lit up with firelight. Musvli, who lived nearby, heard the commotion and rushed over. When he saw the blood on the ground, his blood ran cold and his head buzzed. Yun, how did this happen all of a sudden? Let me take a look. The witch doctor arrived, followed closely by the chief. Muyun's mind was already fading. She only heard the witch doctor say. Yun got a sudden fright, which disturbed the pregnancy. This cub is about to be born. Everyone was shocked. This pregnancy came from a fertility drug. So the cub was already weak and underdeveloped. Now with an early birth, whether it would survive was still a question. Not good, the bleeding won't stop. The witch doctor was sweating profusely. He never expected such a turn of events. Now even saving the mother was a problem. DCX felt a chill run through his whole body. Go to the Tiger clan and bring the witch doctor here. The cub is crowning. The witch doctor was drenched in sweat, rapidly channeling all his spiritual veins. Muyun slowly woke up because of that pure spiritual energy. Her eyelashes fluttered. She couldn't let the cub die. Summoning all her strength. It's out. A wet, blood-soaked cub fell onto the bedding. The witch doctor froze when he saw it. It's a Tiger clan cub. And 6 of them. 3 are 3rd rank, 2 are 4th rank. And 1 was born 5th rank. After delivering all the cubs, he quickly gave Muyun some figwort to hold in her mouth. Where's the Tiger clan's witch doctor? Why isn't he here yet? If he doesn't come soon, Yun might. That one sentence made everyone's heart drop. Yun, how are you? Muzi held her tightly, heartbroken. She was fine this morning. She said she'd been feeling tired and lazy and asked me to pick some wild fruit to perk her up. How did it get this bad so fast? The Tiger clan's witch doctor is here. Dixie grabbed the old witch doctor, pulled him off the Eagle clan's back, and rushed straight to the nest house. The blood in the room told the old witch doctor this was serious. Leaning on his frail, old body, he quickly checked on Muyun. Suddenly, he let out a surprised grunt. A female's hemorrhaging is extremely dangerous. But Muyun's body is already healing rapidly. The speed is astonishing. It's a wood-type spiritual vein. The powerful vein is nourishing every part of her body, making Muyun's face flush with color instantly. Muzi noticed it too. Even though he couldn't see the spiritual vein, he could still see the color returning to her face. I've lived 82 years, and I've never seen such a powerful wood-type spiritual vein. It's unheard of. Witch doctor, is Yunyan okay? She's fine, just needs to sleep it off. The old witch doctor saw 6 cubs. Their tiger tribe had actually birthed 6 cubs. There was no more uplifting news than this. But DCX ignored everything around him. He only worried about Muyun. Just as he was about to step forward, a hand stopped him. Don't touch her. It was Yeyu. The young man's eyes were bloodshot, his golden pupils scanning him like an ant. But the moment he took a step, a fist swung at him. Everyone was startled. They didn't expect the two to fight. In terms of strength, Yeyu and DCX were mismatched. But in unarmed combat, they were evenly matched. DCX was on the verge of going berserk. He had only one thought. Anyone who stops him dies. You felt the same. He had long sensed something was off about this guy. Now that Muyun was lying sick in bed, how could he let him off? All right, haven't you two had enough? Muzi stepped forward to separate them. He was genuinely angry and the consequences would be serious. Then, DCX punched him. You kicked him. Muzi, that hurts. The tiger tribe men saw what was happening and quickly pulled the two apart. Boss, calm down, calm down. Brother Yu, our boss isn't thinking straight. Don't take it personally. The young man was held back by several people. Ye's eyes were locked on him. If he dared to step forward, he'd tear him apart. Yunyan just gave birth and is still weak. If you're not afraid of waking her up, go ahead and keep fighting. Mushin spoke up. One sentence completely diffused their anger. Only after giving birth did the woman realize that her usually gentle and obedient bedmate was actually the infamous tiger tribe chief Dixie, who usurped his father's throne. She pitied him for having no one and showed him extra care. But he hid his identity and pretended to please her. Right after giving birth, she opened her eyes. And the nurse smiled as she brought over the crying cub. Yunyan looked up, utterly shocked. It's a tiger cub. How is that possible? She looked at Dixie, asking with her eyes, you're from the tiger tribe? Thinking back to how Tiger Wang groveled before him before she passed out. And how the tiger tribe gladly gave up their territory, looking terrified. It all made sense now. Master. The young man opened his mouth, but the words got stuck in his throat. Yunyan, he's the tiger tribe chief, Dixie. Yuzi sighed inward and had to tell her the truth. Muyun stared at him blankly. The tiger tribe chief, Dixie. That ruthless monster who kills without blinking. The air suddenly went silent. Everyone tactfully left. As soon as they left, the young man knelt down. Please punish me, mistress. Get up. Muyun reached out to pull him, but the young man stubbornly refused to move, just repeating. Please punish me, mistress. Muyun looked at him with disappointment. We made a pact and had a child together. Honestly, if you don't mind me saying, I care about you more than. I even care about you more than myself. She gave a bitter smile. But the truth is, from the start, you were always on guard with me. You never wanted to be honest. Fine, I don't want to dig into it anymore. Just do your job as chief of the Tiger clan. From now on, we're done. No. The young man's head shot up, his blazing golden eyes filled with panic and confusion. Oh, and this mark. Muyun stared at the tattoo around his neck. See if you can find a way to remove it. You're a clan chief, don't make a fool of yourself. Chief, I don't care about being chief of anything. Hearing he was being sent away, DCX truly panicked. His eyes turned red and his words came out fast and frantic. I lied first. You can hit me or yell at me, I won't complain. If that's not enough, you can take my life too. Please don't break our pact. Even if I die, I'm still yours. Yours. Muyun let out a bitter laugh. Then let me ask you, why hide something this big from me? The young man's explanation got stuck in his throat. Muyun lost her patience. Fine, if you won't talk, I won't ask, just go. She reached out to help him up, but the moment she touched him, a tear fell onto her hand. Muyun felt like she'd been burned. DCX met her eyes and for the first time, showed a hint of vulnerability and hurt. Do you think I had any choice back then? You think I'm some unforgivable monster just like everyone else? How could I risk revealing who I was and make you hate me? Later, when you invited me to the Snow Weasel clan, and we got close like that, I was even more afraid to say it. He stubbornly wiped away his tears and turned his head away from her. Besides, we made a pact, sharing our lives from then on. My life is yours, so why would I guard against you? Isn't that being honest with you? Muyun's heart felt like it was struck. The young man cut her off, his voice hoarse. The tiger clan swore loyalty to the Dejong family and made them our masters. Even after leaving the main family, we still had to pay tribute. When my mother was alive, working to pay the tribute wore her down. My father had no choice. Someone goaded him into burning the slaves. When it came out, he was scared he'd hurt my mother. Afraid I'd talk, he and my brother locked me up. That brother of mine wasn't from the same mother. After our mother died, he had no brotherly love for me at all. If I weren't lucky, I'd have been killed. How could I not hate him? I'm the one who killed my father and brother. I'm unforgivable. When I think about it, I have no regrets. But I was scared you'd think I was vengeful and wouldn't want to be close to me anymore. Muyun never expected that was the reason, she thought. It's my fault. I didn't know the truth and believed the rumors. And I doubted you, making you sad. The young man bit his lip hard, just kneeling there. Don't be mad. Muyun poked him with her finger and whispered, trying to make up. The pact. What? Muyun didn't understand. You said you wanted to break the pact, he whispered accusingly. I was just angry. Muyun tried to soothe him. I just wanted to push you to talk. I didn't want us to grow apart. I didn't mean to hurt you, it's all my fault. She smiled, but honestly. I used to not like how you were always so obedient. It felt like there was a wall between us now that we've fought. You seem more real to me. Dixie looked up, not understanding what she meant. Muyun patted his head. With me, you can be a little wild, a little silly. You don't have to be so careful all the time. Dixie felt a shiver as her soft hand brushed over his head. A tingling sensation made him freeze. He had never felt this way before and he didn't hate it, in fact, he enjoyed it. From now on, I'll only listen to you. He made a request. Of course, or who else would you listen to? Dee felt happy inside. He wasn't really mad to begin with, so he was easily cheered up. And after sharing those heartfelt words, he felt even closer to her. I got into a fight with that kid from the Eagle clan, he said, acting cute. So, did you win? Of course, he was no match for me. That's impressive. Muyun pretended to be surprised. The young man was so pleased that if he had a tail, it would be sticking straight up. Dixie had been nervous that the fight would get exposed, and he was ready to be scolded. If it were his father, he would have blamed him for being reckless. His mother would have scolded him for being rude and rambled on about all sorts of nonsense. But Muyun didn't blame him at all. Instead, she asked if he had won. By the way, what did Erzwang mean by 10 slanting east pearls? At that, Dee pursed his lips. Remembering what Muyun had said, he told her everything about the Zhang family matter. Muyun listened, stunned. That's just too unfair. You're the chief of a clan, and they want you to bond with an old woman? That's ridiculous. The Dejong family is a major clan. As a member of a clan, being treated like this. And the clan chief didn't say anything? The Dejong family is from the ancient Dejong bloodline. Our tiger clan just pledged loyalty to them and serves them as master. We're just a family given their surname, not real clan members. Dixie explained and Muyun finally understood. So the big clans sound all glamorous. But there's still backstabbing and a strict pecking order. Don't worry too much about this. Our contract is sealed. Once I'm better, I'll prepare a generous gift and apologize in person. Hearing that, Dixie bristled. No way. Who do they think they are? You don't need to apologize to them. Come on, I did break the contract because of you. It's only right that I go. Every problem has a solution, right? For the cub, I have to go to the Dejong family. Muyun picked up the cub and couldn't stop holding it. The cub had a wet nurse. Dixie reminded her he didn't like her always focusing on the cub. Right now, he wanted to be close to her. Muyun ignored him. You're a father now too. Mubai takes great care of his cub, you should learn from him. Dixie wouldn't listen. I just need to take care of my mistress. Seeing Muyun only playing with the cub, Dixie felt upset. He grew up in the Dejong family. Thinking about the rivalries among clan couples, he called out pitifully, Mistress, my leg hurts. Muyun stopped playing with the cub and rushed to check on him. Where does it hurt? My knee, it hurts a lot. You've been kneeling too long, let me massage it. Seeing the bruise on his knee, Muyun felt guilty. She rubbed the bruise while soothing him. It actually works? Dixie was shocked. He was just copying what he'd seen. He always thought those tricks were useless. With that thought, he shifted into his beast form. He let out a pitiful roar. Dixie was still a cub, not yet an adult. He was smaller than a full-grown tiger. Plus, from years of abuse, his body was covered in scars. Seeing his beast form, Muyan felt her heart ache just as he'd hoped. Your brother actually hurt you this badly? Muyan was both angry and upset and quickly stroked his big tiger head. You've really been through a lot all these years. Dixie licked her with his tongue, his golden tiger eyes gleaming. He'd been beaten by his brother since he was little and learned to read people. The only thing he was good at was reading the room. But he was tough and never gave in and would never allow himself to show any weakness. But he never expected that playing pitiful in front of his master would actually work so well. He relaxed as Muyan rubbed his tiger head and casually kicked the cubs away with his paw. When Tiger Erzwang showed up, he was totally shocked. His brutal, violent boss was actually rolling around in the den, showing his belly and begging for attention. She went to her beast husband's home for New Year's out of kindness, but never thought she'd almost lose her life because of it. And she never expected that at the last second he'd step in front of her. He also never expected to meet her again. After giving birth to the cubs, they soon set off for Yuanzhou. They were warmly welcomed as soon as they arrived. Just as Muyan was thinking, no wonder they're a big clan. They're so friendly even to low-ranking clans. She never expected that after she introduced herself, the guard would flip his attitude faster than flipping a book. His respectful look was replaced by a cold tone. Get in if you're coming. The nearby clans looked at each other and looked away. We thought she was someone important. Turns out she's just from a small branch clan that pledged to the Dezhong family. That status isn't worth our time. Master, what are you looking at? The great shaman saw Kiyu suddenly stop and looked confused. Kiyu looked away. Nothing, let's go. Muyan and Di were led to the very corner to sit. Before they could even get comfortable, all the clan disciples around them knelt down at once. Lady Yaoji. Diao walked over with her slaves, making a grand entrance. She scanned the room and fixed her gaze on Muyan. They were about the same age, but Muyan was dressed shabbily. Still, her delicate face and ink jade eyes made Diao jealous. Diao frowned. And this is? Muyan stepped forward and bowed. I am from the Rainforest Snow Weasel clan. Greetings, Lady Yaoji. Her tone was humble after all. She needed a favor today. Snow Weasel clan? Diao looked her up and down, feeling even more annoyed. What Snow Weasel clan? Since when do we let just anyone in here? Guards, drag her out and beat her to death. What? Muyan's head shot up. Dixie panicked and stepped in front of Muyan. Just then, a slave beside Diao suddenly struck out. The heavy force sent Dixie flying, instantly crashing hard to the ground. Dixie. The move was so fast Muyan couldn't react. She rushed over to help him up. Are you okay? Master, I'm fine. Hearing this, Diao frowned and finally noticed the contract mark on Dixie's neck. Her expression changed instantly. You Tiger Clan have some nerve, making a contract without permission. She slowly walked over to Dee and looked down at him. What an ungrateful, traitorous thing. Guards, skin him alive and let everyone see what happens to traitors. Dixie shielded Muyan behind him. He instantly shifted into his beast form. Muyan watched Dixie fight for his life. Everyone around her looked at her like she was nothing. She never imagined it would come to this. In front of a great clan, life and death were decided with a single word. It felt like a heavy blow right to her face. Stop, I said stop. Muyan stood up to stop them. But her resistance meant nothing to everyone else. Diao just smiled. Chop up that female too and feed her to the dogs. Who do you think you are to act up in front of the Dezhong clan? At those words, Dixie grabbed Muyan's skirt in his mouth. He let her climb onto his back. He had only one thought. Escape. Run as far as possible. But the moment he moved, someone stopped him. You formed a bond without permission, won't atone with your death, and refuse to change. Do you want the Tiger Clan to be buried with you? A thick gold spirit vein turned into a tight whip, strangling Dixie's neck. He then looked at Muyan on the tiger's back. The Snow Weasel clan tricked the Tiger Clan into bonding. Trying to climb the ranks of the Dezhong clan, that's a death wish. With that, a swift golden arrow formed in the air and shot straight at Muyan. Dixie's face went pale. He tried to struggle, but the massive spirit vein pressed down on him like mountains. It pinned him completely. His eyes turned bloodshot, filled with despair. Thousands of arrows screamed. They flew straight at her face. She couldn't die. Her entire Snow Weasel clan was counting on her. In an instant, rage flooded her body. It burned through every vein like she was on fire. A flame suddenly sparked in the air. From the fire, a divine nine-colored bird was reborn. Its massive wings wiped out thousands of arrows, setting the sky ablaze. This is A fire spirit vein. Everyone stared in disbelief. How is that possible? Mu Yun slowly opened her eyes. Her blazing eyes held a desperate resolve. Worthless trash, hurry up and attack all of you. Diao snapped, her face full of impatience. Everyone snapped out of it and moved in to finish her off quickly. Just then, someone suddenly stepped in front of Mu Yun. Dragon silk billowed in the wind, its totem shimmering. It was the emblem of the ancient Qi clan. Hold on. Those two words stopped everyone in their tracks. A man stood tall and steady, his face as radiant as the moon, like a fallen god. Qiyu. Diao hadn't expected him to step in. What is your Jiangshui Qi clan butting into? The great shaman rushed over. Seeing Mu Yun's pale face, he spoke angrily. What does your Dezhong clan mean by this? She's a guest of the Qi clan. What? Everyone exchanged looks, stunned. The Jiangshui Qi clan was a 6th-rank ancient clan of Yingzhou. And they were publicly defending her. Who was this female? Diao's face darkened at being humiliated in public. The Dezhong clan never marries outside. This person made a contract with one of our slaves without permission. By our rules, killing her is justified. Our Dezhong clan doesn't fear some minor Qi clan. Just then, a voice rang out. Diao's words got stuck in her throat. Enough, how long will you keep causing trouble? An old woman slowly walked to the banquet. She looked about 60 with gray at her temples. But she was sharp-eyed and energetic, with eyes like an eagle's. She scanned the room and finally fixed her gaze on Qiyu, her face apologetic. My child is young and doesn't know her limits. Please forgive us. Mother, why be so polite with them? Shut up. The old woman snapped. It's fine, but we did disrupt the clan's longevity feast. The Qi clan should apologize first. Please don't blame us, clan chief. Her gentle voice was like a breeze through a mountain stream. The clan chief breathed a huge sigh of relief. She then looked at Mu Yun. The Tiger clan pledged loyalty to our Dezhong clan long ago. But they broke away decades ago. You came today because you truly care. So the Dezhong clan won't hold back. Someone, fetch the shaman to examine this lady. No need, Mu Yun forced herself to stay strong. After all, I made the contract on my own. I came to ask you not to be angry. She gritted her teeth and climbed off the tiger's back. Every meridian ached. It's fine, the clan chief's eyes darkened. It's nothing, you're too kind. Today is the clan's longevity feast, so I won't intrude any longer. I'll take my leave. The pain in her meridians made Mu Yun's face grow pale. Mu Yun stumbled, forcing herself out of the Dezhong clan. Finally, she couldn't hold on and collapsed. Pain, so much pain. Her meridians burned like fire, making Mu Yun suffer unbearably. After who knows how long. A sudden coolness seeped into her meridians, easing the burning sensation instantly. Overconfident. Dazed, she heard someone speaking. But Mu Yun's eyelids were too heavy to open. The next day. Master, you're awake. Dishi jumped up and rushed to check Mu Yun's injuries. The head shaman also hurried over. Yun, how do you feel? Mu Yun slowly came to. She looked around. Where is this? The Nightbird clan's territory. Are you okay? The young man's eyes turned red instantly. He shook his head. It's nothing, just a small injury. That's good. Mu Yun looked at the head shaman and smiled gratefully. Thank you, shaman, for saving me. It's no problem, but Yun, you forced your spiritual veins and almost died. If my master hadn't used his spiritual veins to help, it would have been bad. The head shaman stepped aside and introduced. Oh, this is Master Qiyu. You've probably heard of the Qi family from Yingzhou and Jiangshui. Mu Yun noticed the torn contract tattoo on his arm. Then she met his cold, misty eyes. Thank you, Master Qiyu. Her distant words made Qiyu's hand clench slightly inside his sleeve. Seeing she was okay, the head shaman smiled. He still tried to set up the old couple. Yun, forcing your spiritual veins is way too dangerous. Why not take this recovery time to learn from my master? Once your spiritual veins awaken, you need guidance. In the big clans, someone always teaches you. So that's how it is. But Mu Yun noticed the scarred marks on Qiyu's arm and hesitated to refuse. But the head shaman spoke before her. Master, what do you think? The words she wanted to say got stuck in her throat. The air seemed to go silent for a moment. Qiyu looked down at her, waiting for her to refuse. Aren't you tough? Aren't you trying to cut ties? Then why make that face? Who's it for? Qiyu said coldly, then turned and left. You handle it. The head shaman was thrilled. That meant yes. He knew it was working. So he smiled at Mu Yun and said, See, I told you the master is easygoing and the best to get along with. And with his pure spiritual energy, his guidance will definitely be a huge help. Muyun. Does he look like he agreed? Muyun didn't want to discourage him, so she stayed quiet. Seeing it was getting late, the head shaman told them to rest well and then left. Once everyone was gone, Muyun finally relaxed. Seeing Dishi blaming himself, she pulled out a rejuvenation pill and handed it to him, comforting him. To you, it might be a small injury, but since you're hurt, it must still hurt. You don't have to hold back in front of me. I failed to protect you, master. You did great. Muyun personally fed him the pill, then wiped the dried blood off his face. In the beast world, the strong rule. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, find a way to get stronger. Get stronger, Muyun said with determination. We have to develop the clan, there's no other way. On the other side, Shiyu stood on the mountaintop, the wind whipping his robes. He gazed at the distant rooftops, hiding all his feelings deep inside, making it impossible to read him. Master, do you blame me for acting on my own? The head shaman knew how to read the room. Master, the other day you were looking for some servant girls. I think Yun Yun is pretty good. He thought to himself, making her a servant really is unfair to Yun Yun. But for the future, a little unfairness is nothing. What's this called? It's called growing close over time. Chiyu refused without a second thought. This is ridiculous, the head shaman quickly said. I know someone like Yun Yun really isn't fit to serve a noble woman. But master, you saw it too. Yun Yun awakened. Her spiritual vein will surely be of help someday. Hearing this, Chiyu shot back. A person of her status. Tell me, what status is that? The head shaman was stumped. Her status really wasn't impressive. He kept quiet but didn't expect. Chiyu wasn't about to let him off. You know she has pride. The contracted tiger clan trespassed into Dezhong territory. She also had a hand in trade across the 9 provinces. Would someone like that ever be content to serve under others? I doubt she even respects the Qi clan. How is that possible? The head shaman quickly spoke up. Master, you're overthinking it. Overthinking? Chiyu almost laughed. He looked down at the torn contract mark on his arm. If she really wanted to get close, why wait until now? What does that mean? The head shaman was confused. Chiyu warned him. The matter of her giving birth must be kept absolutely secret. If she finds out, you know the rules. Giving birth? The head shaman's eyes lit up. So that's what master cares about. It's hard to find a mate when you have a cub. That night, Chiyu had a dream. He dreamed of the rainforest of return beneath the sunset cliff. The ancient mermaid lineage was born in the South Sea. They migrated to Yingzhou and settled there. For years, they ruled the Zhang River, but their bloodline dwindled. Only his line remained. He gave up the chieftain position and backed the Night Heron clan to take over. To keep the clan alive, he agreed to marry outside the tribe. That other clan was far away in Finglin, 1,000 miles off. Knowing he'd never set foot on his homeland again, he prepared to go to Yuanzhou and let the Nightbird clan support a new leader. But he never imagined that this journey would bring such a huge upheaval. The moment the heavenly contract came down, his spiritual veins dried up, leaving him powerless. His whole body went weak and he was forced to let her have her way. He was born into a great clan, raised on ancient traditions, never daring to break the rules, let alone act so recklessly out in the wild. It was no better than an animal. He struggled, he fought back, he wanted to tear her apart in anger. When those forceful, claiming kisses came down hard, he gritted his teeth and endured. But his body, never touched before, trembled instinctively. This feeling, he just thought. Later. What came later was even harder for him to speak of. Lost in the thrill of the forbidden, slowly, his crumbling reason left him unable to think. Whispering close, tangled together, the contract totem branded his soul, sinking into his very bones. All he wanted was to take her, but he never expected. When he woke up, she was gone without a trace. He hated nothing more than schemers trying to climb up through connections. He ordered the partnership with the Snow Weasel clan to stop. He was determined to make her pay, and he was ready to burn everything down, even if it ruined his own name. The Owl clan was fast, but what he didn't expect was that she actually agreed. Not even a single word, as if nothing had ever happened. That attitude only made him angrier. He told himself over and over to let this go and never bring it up again. Just go back to Jiangshui and act like everything was normal. But the calm didn't last long. The moment he learned he was pregnant, it felt completely absurd. But the cub was innocent. For the Qi clan and the mermaid bloodline, he carried the child for a month and gave birth in agony. The pain of cutting open his belly made him pass out again and again. A suffering few could ever know. After the cub was born to pave its way, he reached out to the clan again. That's how he ended up at the Yuanzhou Dezhong birthday banquet. But he never expected to run into her again. He watched her trapped in trouble, watched her fight for her life, watched her struggle to resist. For some reason, he stepped in front of her. For the cub's sake, he thought. But who would have guessed? After she woke up, she acted cold and distant like she didn't know him. She was the one who asked for it. And he was forced into the bond. So who was she putting on that act for? When he thought about the great healer wanting him to teach her how to use her spirit veins, he instinctively wanted to refuse. But then he saw she hadn't even asked. He hated himself for being soft-hearted again. All these tangled feelings made him restless. This dream wasn't peaceful. He even dreamed of that night again. She kissed the corner of his eye and his lips. He suddenly woke up, drenched in sweat. He lowered his head and looked in the dim light at the torn tattoo on his arm. He'd seen that tattoo complete on that slave. The fact that she risked defending the Dezhong clan for him showed she wasn't heartless. But her true feelings weren't for him. The one forced into a bond and then abandoned was now waiting outside the door. He was so rich everyone tried their hardest to win his favor. But the woman's beast husband really disliked him, even shutting him out. It was because he smelled like his owner, just like Mubai. Owner, I don't like that fish, he's covered in fish stench, it's disgusting. The truth was that fish smelled like his owner. So from the first meeting he instinctively hated him. Mu Yun tapped him on the head. Don't talk about people behind their backs, got it? The tap was light and didn't hurt, but the boy looked totally wronged. Mu Yun was a bit stuck, to be honest. She wanted to understand the spirit veins and get stronger. But her relationship with Kiyu. Enough. Kiyu wore a robe with dark dragon patterns. He stood tall and elegant, hands behind his back. When she came over, he glanced at her sideways. His tone was distant and unreadable. Mu Yun tensed up and took a step. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. No matter, let's go. Where to? Mu Yun wanted to ask but didn't dare, so she just followed. They walked in silence for who knows how long. Finally, they stopped in a dense forest. Mu Yun checked the system map. She saw they were in Yuanzhou's Wuwang Forest. Unlike Guiyu Forest, this place had no tribes at all. It was entirely a habitat for wild beasts. Kiyu didn't take her inside, he stopped at the edge. Try channeling your spirit veins here. Channel spirit veins? Under Kiyu's guidance, Mu Yun soon felt a flow of spirit veins moving through her body. It felt like lying on grass, soaking up sunlight. But gradually, Mu Yun sensed something was wrong. The warmth didn't last long before it suddenly surged. The speed of drawing in energy shot up fast. Kiyin immediately felt the spiritual energy in the mountain stir. The energy surged like towering waves, rushing in. It swept through the forest and hit the outskirts. He frowned. Could it be a beast tide? But the thought stopped short, because he realized that the surging, wave-like spiritual energy was frantically pouring into Mu Yun's body. Oh no! This lunatic. He gritted his teeth and quickly protected her vital point. But against the rolling mountains and seas, it was like a mayfly trying to shake a tree, utterly useless. If this kept up, he'd definitely be done for. Run a small cycle and condense a core, quick. Quick, my ass? Mu Yun was really panicking, she had no idea what he meant. Condense a core, she was in too much pain for that. If you can't absorb it, try releasing it instead. Let it out. That, Mu Yun understood. She gritted her teeth and forced wave after wave of surging spiritual energy to race through her limbs and body. Gradually, she realized the energy was gathering below her belly into a sparkling crystal core. She was overjoyed. So that's what run a small cycle meant. And Kiyu, who was holding her up, was stunned for a moment at the sight, because he realized Mu Yun was about to form a core. After a beastman awakens their spiritual vein, it usually takes years to slowly gather spiritual energy and condense a core. Without a clan's teachings and relying only on oneself, they might never grasp the secret technique. But Mu Yun not only grasped it, she was about to take all the spiritual energy from the entire Wuwang forest. There's no way a mere snow weasel clan could do this. Kiyu's expression was complicated. Mu Yun, on the other hand, felt a wild thrill. Boom! A vast wave of spiritual energy burst from Mu Yun. The massive blast flipped everything within 100 meters. Dust and sand rolled everywhere. In the silence, Mu Yun opened her eyes. "Milord, I really formed a core, thanks to your guidance, or else today I would have died here, milord." Mu Yun noticed Kiyu wasn't looking at her. He was staring at a patch of grass 100 meters away. The once thick grass had been blasted a huge crater into the ground. Kiyu's brow furrowed deeper. This isn't a fire spirit vein. There aren't many burn marks around. Only when spiritual power is mixed together. Could it cause such a big change? You have dual spirit veins. He paused. Muyun answered honestly, no. I have 5 element spirit veins. It hit him like a thunderbolt. Really? For the first time, Kiyu's composed face showed shock. Muyun was confused. What's wrong? Is it bad? No, it's good. Kiyu's mind was racing. He suddenly thought of the cub. Only the pure bloodline of the ancient Merfolk, combined with an ancient orthodox bloodline, can conceive a cub. But after tens of thousands of years, even the direct descendants of ancient clans may not have pure bloodlines. Who is she really? By the time they got back, it was already late. Muyun was exhausted and fell asleep by the campfire. Kiyu took off his robe and draped it over her. He lay down in the firelight. He took out the rejuvenation pill, remembering the soul-departing pill Muyun had taken earlier. She had taken it for her injuries from the beast tide. The soul-departing pill is a 6th grade pill, but one of its ingredients, dragon scale powder, has long disappeared. Dragon scale powder is made from the scales of the candle dragon Zhu Jiyan. The Jiyan clan of Yuanzhou, born in the North Sea, was wiped out long ago after that great war. How could there still be a soul-departing pill? The Snow Weasel clan lives in the Snow Ridge Mountains, a desolate place. It's thousands of miles away from here. Only weak races live there. There's no way they could have any connection. Well, if I had to name one. The founder traveled across the 9 provinces and once stayed at Gikshu Snow Mountain. That journey led to the fall of the ancient bloodline. And the Jiyan clan was one of the races under the founder. Can't figure it out, so he stopped thinking about it. Suddenly, an arm wrapped around him, snapping Kiyu back to reality. Muyun was a restless sleeper. The space was cramped, the fire was hot. And she'd already kicked off her clothes. Cold after kicking them off, she instinctively grabbed his lean waist. Of course. Her legs weren't idle either. She just wrapped herself around him completely. Kiyu pushed her away without a second thought. He was already angry, thinking about the pain of the C-section and the newborn cub. He didn't want her touching him at all. But he didn't know Muyun was stubborn. After being pushed away, she immediately clung to him again. After Muyun forced a bear hug on him for sleep. The next day, the great shaman walked in and was stunned by the sight before him. The two were sleeping neck to neck, clothes a mess, holding each other tightly. The great shaman took one look and ran out in a panic. He knew they'd end up together, but he didn't think it'd be this fast. The great shaman thought about how the mistress carried the cub for 2,160 minutes. Went through countless trials with a C-section. And no female wants to be a stepmother. The more he thought, the more worried he got. But just then, a tiger's roar startled the birds in the forest. A huge tiger came charging toward them. He quickly stepped forward to block it. Old man, get out of my way. Dixie kicked the great shaman far away. Muyun's scent was in the cave. He had a master-servant contract with her. He could sense her life and danger first. She was clearly in trouble. Ouch! The great shaman stumbled and fell to the ground. He scrambled up, trying to stop him. He absolutely couldn't let him see the master and Muyun in a disheveled state. But just then, Kiyu stood blocking the cave entrance, fully dressed. Seeing who it was, he understood why. She's fine, just a little hurt. Dixie didn't hesitate and tried to rush in. He said with teary eyes, Master, you're injured. Just a scratch, what are you doing here? It's over 100,000 miles from Guiyu Forest to here. As soon as I heard you were in trouble, I rushed over. Xiaoxi, you're amazing. Kiyu, standing outside the cave, heard everything they said. He couldn't tell what he was feeling. He only felt the spot around his waist grow cold. He turned and walked away. The Dezhong clan of Yanshan City. Ever since the birthday banquet, Diyao had been grounded by her mother. Not only was she scolded for not knowing her place, but she was also ordered to personally apologize to the Tiger clan. Why should I? The maid trembled as she tried to comfort her. Milady, please calm down. It's all because of the Kishi clan of Jiangshui. We always have to think of the bigger picture. The bigger picture? Diyao jumped up and pointed outside, cursing. I am from the great Dezhong clan, ranked 7th. When have I ever cared about the tiny Kishi clan of Jiangshui? Don't think I don't know with the heir selection coming up. They want to get rid of me, dream on. She had been her mother's favorite since childhood, but her father's status couldn't compare to her sister's powerful maternal clan. Now, with the heir selection, The whole clan only follows her sister's lead. They don't respect her at all. Otherwise, why would she go to such lengths to win her mother's favor? Thinking about how she spent 30 hu of Eastern pearls and got nothing good in return, and only got herself into trouble, it stung. It's all the Tiger clan's fault. Diao got angrier the more she thought about it, wishing she could crush those ants. A maid, afraid she'd make herself sick, quickly tried to calm her down. My lady, you may not know, but the Qi clan's business spans the 9 lands. Even these pottery pieces are made by them. These pottery pieces are from the Qi clan? I heard Lady Qiyu just had a cub, but the cub's maternal clan hasn't shown up yet. The Qi clan is really stressed about it. If my lady would adopt that cub as her own, the Qi clan would be forever grateful. They might even hand over their business to you. Really? Diao was a bit confused. Then why didn't mother just say so directly? Once Diao figured it out, she wasn't angry anymore. Her mother really did care about her. If she could get close to the Qi clan, then in the election, for the next chief, she'd have more leverage. Thinking about it, how could Diao not be tempted? Go tell mother I'll prepare a generous gift and head to Guiyu Forest. But then she thought about it and felt too proud to go herself. How about this, send an invitation instead? Say that next month there's an autumn hunt at Yanshan City. Invite the Tiger clan and the Snow Weasel clan to join the fun. On the other side, the Nightbird clan. Mu Yan was showing off her spiritual power to DCX. The boy's eyes lit up as he showered her with endless praise. Mu Yan felt a little proud from all the compliments. Suddenly, a voice broke the peaceful moment. Boss! A loud shout came from far away. Mu Yan turned around and saw Huer's Wang rushing over in a panic. What are you doing here? DCX frowned, annoyed that he was getting in the way. Huer's Wang ignored him and pulled out the invitation. Boss, a letter came from your family. It says our Tiger clan and the Snow Weasel clan are to go to the autumn hunt at Yanshan City. Take a look. Mu Yan and Dixie exchanged a look. They were sure it was from their family. DKX asked. Huer's Wang nodded firmly. Absolutely, everyone's going crazy with excitement. They're just waiting for you to say yes. The autumn hunt is like a beginner trial dungeon with great rewards. High-grade beast cores, herbs, everything you could want. And you don't have to worry about getting killed by high-grade beasts. Just that alone makes it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Huer's Wang was beyond excited. Mu Yan thought about how she almost lost her life because of them. She looked into Dixie's eyes. What do you think the Dezhong clan is up to? Are they really being this generous? They wouldn't try to wipe us out, would they? Just then, a gentle voice spoke up from behind them. The autumn hunt at Yanshan City really is a rare opportunity. Everyone turned around. He walked over slowly. In the slanting sunlight, he looked like a towering mountain. Breathtaking and untouchable. Mu Yan introduced him to Huer's Wang. This is Lord Qiyu. Hearing that, Huer's Wang was terrified and quickly knelt down. He bowed his head to the ground with reverence. Mu Yan quickly helped him up. We're all friends here, don't be so nervous. Huer's Wang looked horrified. How could I not be nervous? He looked at Mu Yan, then at the Lord. Seeing how casual they were with each other, he was even more shocked. The Qiyu clan of Jiangshui, what status do they have? And the Snow Weasel clan, what status do we have? He had heard that the Snow Weasel clan had an alliance with the Qiyu clan, but he never expected them to be this close in private even. He even noticed that the Lord wasn't upset. In fact, he seemed a little pleased. If it weren't for the celestial totem on his arm, he would have suspected they were a thing. So you're saying the autumn hunt is worth going to? Mu Yunjian. The autumn hunt at Yanshan City gathers all the clans. It'd be good for you to get some experience. Better than chasing bamboo rats all over the mountain. Mu Yan thought about how she caught bamboo rats to test her spiritual power and felt speechless. She was just trying to level up, okay? Mu Yan felt awkward under Chi Yu's stare. So you think the autumn hunt is worth going to? Mu Yan didn't want to assume the worst of others. But she'd seen how the Dezhong clan acted. So she didn't believe anything good would come her way. Scared, Chi Yu looked her up and down. Look at you, so spineless. That's not spineless. Mu Yan defended herself. If I were alone, I'd dare to go into a dragon's den or a tiger's lair. But I have the entire Snow Weasel clan behind me. So I have to be cautious and careful about everything. She never believed good things just fell from the sky. Either someone wanted something or they had a scheme. Whatever the Dezhong clan's goal, it wasn't something her Snow Weasel clan could resist. Chi Yu looked away and said quietly, "These aren't things you need to worry about." Then he walked off. Mu Yan looked confused and quickly chased after him. Chi Yu, wait up. What did you mean by that? What? You're coming too? That's great, why didn't you say so earlier? Mu Yun's chattering voice faded into the distance. Huers Wang watched the scene, his jaw nearly dropping. He swallowed and looked at Dishi. Boss, do you smell something? What do you mean? Huers Wang said quietly. I just caught a scent from Lord Shiyu. That's the same as yours and Mubai's. Dishi shot him a glare. What nonsense are you talking about? Huers Wang quickly shut his mouth. Tiger ancestors liked to claim mountains as their territory. They were especially sensitive to foreign scents. He was sure of what he smelled. But seeing his boss's dark expression, he quickly added, Boss, just pretend I said nothing, think about it, it's impossible. Lord Shiyu has the celestial totem, so even if that's not possible. The celestial contract's power is etched into the soul. It represents unwavering loyalty to a partner, a mark in a chain. Once the contract is set, a male can no longer be close to any other female. Otherwise, he will perish, his soul vanishing from the world. Dishi thought of this too, and his expression relaxed. Don't bring this up again. Soon, they set off for Yanshan City. Today, Mu Yun made a bunch of flatbreads for everyone. She was exhausted and was about to go to sleep. Then she saw Dishi following her. He wasn't interested in flatbreads, he wanted to warm her bed at night. He also wanted to massage her shoulders and boil water. He didn't trust anyone else with these daily chores. He had to do them himself. But just then, Mu Bai stopped him. More accurately, he stopped Mu Yun. Jair is really fussy tonight, I can't calm him down. Go check on him. Dishi's eyes darkened. He moved closer to Mu Yun, holding her hand and not letting go. Mu Bai pretended not to notice. As a fellow male, he could see right through his little scheme. Mu Yun got worried when she heard the eldest was in trouble. Why would he get sick all of a sudden? She started to leave and Mu Bai followed. He's probably just throwing a tantrum, he wanted to see you earlier. He saw you were busy and didn't let him, so he started crying hard. Hearing this, Mu Yun's heart ached. Yu is calming him down. Go check on him first, I'll come later. Hearing this, Dishi tightened his grip on Mu Yun's hand. He just knew it. That bird is no good either, and he even got backup. He was annoyed and didn't want Mu Yun to go at all. Mu Bai caught every bit of the young man's expression. Without a word, he stepped in front of him. He said with a smile, Xiaoxi, you must be tired too, why don't you go rest first? Only then did Mu Yun notice their joined hands. She let go of his hand. Mu Bai's right, you go rest, I'll go check on the little one. No. Dishi panicked and tried to follow. But Mu Bai stood there like a wooden post. Move. He was furious but didn't dare actually fight him. And this whole scene was watched by certain people. The great healer clicked his tongue. Such cheap tricks. At my age, I've seen them 1,000 times before. Still, he stole a glance at Chi Yu's face and quietly urged, Master, it's late, go get some rest. At least Mu Yun doesn't have too many partners. I hear she's only bonded with 2, but looks like there'll be a 3rd tonight. TSK, TSK, TSK. Hearing this, Chi Yu looked away. His stunning face showed no sign of displeasure. But his hand, hidden in his sleeve, clenched slightly. Over here. Jair lay in bed, his fair, delicate little face still streaked with tears. He gripped Yu's clothes with his tiny hand, sniffling. Uncle, does Mom not like me? The little guy looked so upset, on the verge of crying again. Yu pulled the blanket up for him. All he could do was comfort him. Remember the little candy you had tonight? Your mom wrapped it herself. She even had someone bring it over, how could she not like you? Hearing about the candy, the little guy sniffled. Just then, a soft voice came in. Big guy, look what Mom brought you. The little guy looked toward the door, his eyes wide. He jumped out of bed in a flash and bounced into Mu Yun's arms. Mom, Mom, Mom. The little guy finally burst into loud sobs. Feeling guilty, Mu Yun quickly cheered him up. Let me see which big kitty is dropping little tears. She kissed and hugged him and took out a bamboo grasshopper to cheer him up. The little guy laughed out loud. But he held onto Mu Yun's hand, afraid she would leave. Once she finally got the little one to sleep, she looked at Yu, their eyes met. Mu Yun gave him an apologetic smile. Did the little one bother you? It's fine. Yu's heart was completely calm. It's late, you should get some rest. The little guy in her arms was sleeping soundly and Mu Yun didn't want to wake him. So she just sat down on the edge of the bed. It's windy outside, just stay here for the night, don't worry about anything. Yu's body tensed up instantly. He looked at her in disbelief, wanting to ask what she meant, but saw that she had already lain down with the little one. His heart, usually as still as a deep pool, rippled in that moment. Yu's mind was in turmoil, he couldn't be as relaxed as she was. He wanted to ask what this meant, but then laughed at himself for being too sensitive. She just couldn't bear to leave the kid. What was he, anyway? 100 emotions mixed together, making it impossible for him to think. Until Mu-yeon draped the blanket over him. Her soft little hand held the little one, and then his. Yu's breathing grew heavy. Without thinking, he held her hand back. His rough palm wrapped around her soft, delicate hand. He closed his eyes and something inside him settled. He figured a simple, quiet life was fine too. He could wait, the bond didn't matter that much anymore. A dreamless night. After Mu-yeon bear hugged someone to sleep. The next day, the great shaman walked in and was stunned by the sight before him. The great shaman took one look and ran out in a panic. He knew it would happen eventually, but not this fast. The great healer thought of the cub the master had gone through so much to give birth to. And no female wants to be a stepmother. The more he thought, the more worried he got. But just then, a tiger's roar startled the birds in the forest. A huge tiger came charging toward them. He quickly stepped forward to block it. "Old man, get out of my way." Dixie kicked the great shaman far away. Mu-yeon's scent was in the cave. He had a master-servant contract with her. He could sense her safety right away. She was clearly in trouble. Ouch! The great shaman stumbled and fell to the ground. He scrambled up, trying to stop him. He absolutely couldn't let him see the master and Mu-yeon like that. But just then, Ki-yu stood blocking the cave entrance, fully dressed. Seeing who it was, he understood why. "She's fine, just a little hurt." Dixie didn't hesitate and tried to rush in. He said with teary eyes, "Master, you're injured." "Just a scratch, what are you doing here?" "It's over 100,000 miles from Guiyu Forest to here. As soon as I heard you were in trouble, I rushed over." "Shaoxi, you're amazing." Ki-yu, standing outside the cave, heard everything they said. He couldn't tell what he was feeling. He only felt the spot on his waist where he was grabbed slowly grow cold. He turned and walked away. The Daejeon clan of Yanshin City. Ever since the birthday banquet, Diao had been grounded by her mother. Not only was she scolded for not knowing her place, but she was also ordered to personally apologize to the Tiger clan. "Why should I?" The maid trembled as she tried to comfort her. "Mistress, please calm down, it's all for the sake of the Kishi clan of Jingshui. We always have to think of the bigger picture." "The bigger picture?" Diao jumped up and pointed outside, cursing. "I am from the great Daejeon clan, ranked 7th. When have I ever cared about the tiny Kishi clan of Jiangshui? Don't think I don't know with the heir selection coming up. They want to get rid of me, dream on." She had been favored by her mother since she was young, but her father's status was low. Couldn't compare to her sister's powerful maternal clan. Now, with the heir selection, the whole clan only follows her sister's lead. They don't respect her at all. Otherwise, why would she go to such lengths to win her mother's favor? Thinking about how she spent 30 hu of Eastern pearls and got nothing good out of it, but only caused trouble for herself, it made her heart ache. It's all the Tiger clan's fault. The more Diao thought about it, the angrier she got. She wished she could tear them apart. A maid, afraid she'd make herself sick, quickly tried to calm her down. "My lady, you may not know, but the Kishui clan's business spans the 9 lands. Even these pottery pieces are made by them." "These pottery pieces are from the Chi clan? I heard Lady Ki-yu just had a cub. But the cub's maternal clan hasn't shown up yet. The Chi clan is really stressed about it. If my lady would adopt that cub as her own, the Chi clan would be forever grateful. They might even hand over their business to you." "Really?" Diao was a bit confused. Then why didn't mother just say so directly? Once Diao figured it out, she wasn't angry anymore. Her mother really did care about her. If she could get close to the Chi clan, then in the election, for the next chief, she'd have more leverage. Thinking about it, how could Diao not be tempted? Go tell mother I'll prepare a generous gift and head to Guiyu Forest. But then she thought about it and felt too proud to go herself. How about this, send an invitation instead? Say that next month there's an autumn hunt at Yanshin City. Invite the Tiger clan and the Snow Weasel clan to join the fun. On the other side, the Nightbird clan. Mu-yeon was showing off her spiritual power to DCX. The boy's eyes lit up and words tumbled out like crazy. Mu-yeon felt a little proud from all the compliments. Suddenly, a voice broke the peaceful moment. "Boss!" A loud shout came from far away. Mu-yeon turned and saw Huers-wang rushing over in a panic. "What are you doing here?" DCX frowned, annoyed that he was getting in the way. Huers-wang ignored him and pulled out the invitation. "Boss, a letter came from your family. It says our Tiger clan and the Snow Weasel clan are to go to the autumn hunt at Yanshan City. Take a look. Mu-Yun and Dixie exchanged a look. They were sure it was from their family. DKX asked. Huers Wang nodded firmly. Absolutely, everyone's going crazy with excitement. They're just waiting for you to say yes. The autumn hunt is like a beginner trial dungeon with great rewards. High-grade beast cores, herbs, everything you could want. And you don't have to worry about getting killed by high-grade beasts. Just that alone makes it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Huers Wang was beyond excited. She looked into Dishi's eyes. What do you think the Dezhong clan is up to? Are they really being this generous? They wouldn't try to wipe us out, would they? Just then, a gentle voice spoke up from behind them. The autumn hunt at Yanshan City really is a rare opportunity. Everyone turned around. He walked over slowly. In the slanting sunlight, he looked like a towering mountain. Breathtaking and untouchable. Mu-Yun introduced him to Huers Wang. This is Lord Qiyu. Hearing that, Huers Wang was terrified and quickly knelt down. He bowed his head to the ground with reverence. Mu-Yun quickly helped him up. We're all friends here, don't be so nervous. Huers Wang looked horrified. How could I not be nervous? He looked at Mu-Yun, then at the Lord. Seeing how casual they were with each other, he was even more shocked. The Qiyu clan of Jiangshui, what status do they have? And the Snow Weasel clan, what status do we have? He had heard the Snow Weasel clan was working with the Qi clan of Jiangshui, but he never expected them to be this close in private even. He even noticed that the Lord wasn't upset. In fact, he seemed a little pleased. If it weren't for the celestial totem on his arm, he would have suspected they were a thing. So you're saying the autumn hunt is worth going to? Mu-Yun Jian. The autumn hunt at Yanshan City gathers all the clans. It'd be good for you to get some experience. Better than chasing bamboo rats all over the mountain. Mu-Yun thought about how she caught bamboo rats to test her spiritual power and felt speechless. She was just trying to level up, okay? Mu-Yun felt awkward under Qiyu's stare. So you think the autumn hunt is worth going to? Mu-Yun didn't want to assume the worst of others. But she'd seen how the Dezhong clan acted. So she didn't believe anything good would come her way. Scared, Qiyu looked her up and down. Look at you, so spineless. That's not spineless. Mu-Yun defended herself. If I were alone, I'd dare to go into any danger zone. But I have the entire Snow Weasel clan behind me. So I have to be cautious and careful about everything. She never believed good things just fell from the sky. Either someone wanted something or they had a scheme. Whatever the Dezhong clan's goal, it wasn't something her Snow Weasel clan could resist. Qiyu looked away and said quietly, "These aren't things you need to worry about." Then he walked off. Mu-Yun looked confused and quickly chased after him. "Qiyu, wait up. What did you mean by that? What? You're coming too? That's great. Why didn't you say so earlier?" Mu-Yun's chatter faded into the distance. Huers Wang was so shocked his jaw almost dropped. He swallowed and looked at Dishi. "Boss, do you smell something?" "What do you mean?" Huers Wang said quietly. "I just caught a scent from Lord Qiyu. That's the same as yours and Mubai's." Dishi shot him a glare. "What nonsense are you talking about?" Huers Wang quickly shut his mouth. Tiger ancestors liked to claim mountains as their territory. They were especially sensitive to foreign scents. He was sure of what he smelled. But seeing his boss's dark expression, he quickly added, "Boss, just pretend I said nothing. Think about it, it's impossible. Lord Qiyu has the celestial totem, so even if that's not possible. The celestial contract's power is etched into the soul. It represents unwavering loyalty to a partner, a mark in a shackle. Once the contract is made, a male can no longer get close to any other female. Otherwise, he will perish, his soul vanishing from the world." Dishi thought of this too and his expression relaxed. "Don't bring this up again." Soon, they set off for Yanshan City. Today, Mu-Yun made a bunch of flatbreads for everyone. She was exhausted and was about to go to sleep. Then she saw Dishi following her. He wasn't interested in flatbreads, he wanted to warm her bed at night. He also wanted to massage her shoulders and boil water. He didn't trust anyone else with these daily chores. He had to do them himself. But just then, Mubai stopped him. More accurately, he stopped Mu-Yun. "Jair is really fussy tonight, I can't calm him down. Go check on him." Dishi's eyes darkened. He moved closer to Mu-Yun, holding her hand and not letting go. Mubai pretended not to notice. As a fellow male, he could see right through his little scheme. Mu-Yun got worried when she heard the eldest was in trouble. Why would he get sick all of a sudden? She said as she started to leave, and Mubai followed. "He's probably just throwing a tantrum, he wanted to see you earlier. He saw you were busy and didn't let him, so he started crying hard." Hearing this, Mu-Yun's heart ached. Yu is calming him down. Go check on him first, I'll come later. Hearing this, Dishi tightened his grip on Muyun's hand. He just knew it. That bird is no good either, and he even got backup. He was annoyed and didn't want Muyun to go at all. Mubai caught every bit of the young man's expression. Without a word, he stepped in front of him. He said with a smile, Xiaoxi, you must be tired too, why don't you go rest first? Only then did Muyun notice their joined hands. She let go of his hand. Mubai's right, you go rest, I'll go check on the little one. No. Dishi panicked and tried to follow. But Mubai stood there like a wooden post. Move. He was furious but didn't dare actually fight him. And this whole scene was watched by certain people. The great healer clicked his tongue. Such cheap tricks. At my age, I've seen them 1,000 times before. Still, he stole a glance at Chiyu's face and quietly urged, Master, it's late, go get some rest. At least Muyun doesn't have too many partners. I hear she's only bonded with 2, but looks like there'll be a third tonight. TSK, TSK, TSK. Hearing this, Chiyu looked away. His stunning face showed no sign of displeasure. But his hand, hidden in his sleeve, clenched slightly. Over here, Jair lay in bed, his fair little face still streaked with tears. He gripped Yiyu's clothes with his tiny hand, sniffling. Uncle, does mom not like me? The little guy looked so upset, on the verge of crying again. Yiyu pulled the blanket up for him. All he could do was comfort him. Remember the little candy you had tonight? Your mom wrapped it herself. She even had someone bring it over, how could she not like you? Hearing about the sugar buns, the little guy sniffled. Just then a soft voice came in. Big guy, look what mom brought you. The little guy looked toward the door, his eyes wide. He jumped out of bed in a flash and bounced into Muyun's arms. Mom, mom, mom. The little guy finally burst into loud sobs. Feeling guilty, Muyun quickly cheered him up. Let me see which big kitty is dropping little tears. She kissed and hugged him and took out a bamboo grasshopper to cheer him up. The little guy laughed out loud. But he held onto Muyun's hand, afraid she would leave. Once she finally got the little one to sleep, she looked at Yiyu, their eyes met. Muyun gave him an apologetic smile. Did the little one bother you? It's fine. Yiyu's heart was completely calm. It's late, you should get some rest. The little guy in her arms was sleeping soundly and Muyun didn't want to wake him. So she just sat down on the edge of the bed. It's windy outside, just stay here for the night, don't worry about anything. Yiyu's body tensed up instantly. He looked at her in disbelief, wanting to ask what she meant, but saw that she had already lain down with the little one. His heart, usually as still as a deep pool, rippled in that moment. Yiyu's mind was in turmoil, he couldn't be as relaxed as she was. He wanted to ask what this meant, but then laughed at himself for being too sensitive. She just couldn't bear to leave the kid, what was he anyway? 100 emotions mixed together, making it impossible for him to think. Until Muyun draped the blanket over him. Her soft little hand held the little one and also wrapped around his waist. Yiyu's breathing grew heavy. Without thinking, he held her hand back. His rough palm wrapped around her soft, delicate hand. He closed his eyes and something inside him settled. He figured a simple, quiet life was fine too. He could wait, the bond didn't matter that much anymore. A dreamless night. When Yiyu woke up, he saw Mubai playing with the little one. When Mubai saw Yiyu was awake, he got up and walked over. His gaze fell on Yiyu's arm. She rarely came over and this was such a good chance. He knew what Mubai meant. Both were males and both were Muyun's mates. Yiyu rarely showed a hint of awkwardness like a shy young man. Mubai sighed. Something shouldn't have to come from me. But right now, he couldn't worry about that. You don't know, the tiger clan brought their cub over early this morning. Said he was spitting up milk badly so they took him away. Yiyu frowned. That kid. Who knows, I wasn't planning to make a big deal about it either. But Jair. Mubai looked at the cub playing on the ground. Jair is so young he needs his mother. This morning he wanted to come along. But the tiger clan stopped him and sent him to me. Unbelievable. Yiyu got angry but that was about it. Mubai gave a bitter smile, even without the tiger clan. After the autumn hunt there will be other clans. By then, it won't be something you and I can handle alone. Better to settle it early. With a cub we'll have more leverage in the future. Yiyu listened patiently. He knew what Mubai meant. But he thought of something but was too embarrassed to say it. How could he be the one to bring that up? Mubai saw his hesitation and hinted gently. It's getting cold tonight. I'll warm up some wine so we can all celebrate properly. The next day, Mu Yun was making wanton wrappers. Just then, a girl came over to help her. She gave up her spot. These wrappers need to be thin, give it a try. Bai Sanger obediently took over. A bit clumsy, but she had the right idea. Mu Yun was pleased. You're a fast learner, I'll teach you a few more things later. Thank you, mistress. Just call me Yun Yun. Bai Sanger smiled. In the past, when you visited the clan, we only watched from afar, afraid of being rude. I never expected you to be so kind. Bai Sanger didn't have many other females to talk to in the clan. Seeing how approachable Mu Yun was, she felt drawn to her. I heard you went to Dijiang last time. Did you get to see Lady Yingji? Yingji? Who is that? Right, I heard this autumn hunt is meant to let Lady Yingji win and become the next young chief. You don't know? Mu Yun had no idea about any of this. Bai Sanger explained. The Dijiang clan owes its success to the old Bai Hai clan. They're the ancient Zhelong's old followers, feared across the land. They're also Lady Yingji's father's clan. To win them over, she gave up the imperial name. So Lady Yingji can take the Ying name and become heir. Mu Yun was surprised. Taking the father's name? That's basically marrying into the family. What about Yaoji? Yaoji? Bai Sanger thought for a moment. Yaoji is favored, but the clan values status and roots. Even if the chief dotes on her, it won't work. Besides, Yaoji is bossy and looks down on everyone. Lady Yingji is the complete opposite. She's just like you, really easy to get along with. Bai Sanger couldn't help comparing them. Both ladies were the prettiest she'd ever seen. Mu Yun was soft and sweet, stunning at first glance, making you want to protect her. Yingji was more striking and heroic. Even with a good personality, she still felt distant. Bai Sanger still liked Mu Yun more. They chatted while kneading dough, but the conversation started to feel a little off. Do you know who Kiyu's partner is? Hearing that, Mu Yun's heart skipped a beat. Who is that? I don't know. Bai Sanger slowed down and lowered her voice. Whoever it is, they're so irresponsible. Making a pact and then not honoring it. It made the Jiang Shuiqi clan a laughingstock. That's just cruel. Mu Yun felt a pang of guilt. Are people really talking about this behind our backs? Of course, word got around. There are all kinds of rumors. Some even say Kiyu's partner is Lady Yingji. Why would they say that? Mu Yun was stunned. Isn't it obvious? Bai Sanger patiently explained. First, Kiyu made the pact in Yuanzhou. Who else in Yuanzhou has that kind of power? Second, the Dijiang clan is ranked 7th and backed by the Bai Hai loyalists. As an ancient orthodox clan, they naturally look down on the Qi bloodline, so they never intended to take responsibility. Third, why invite Kiyu to the autumn hunt? She rattled off a bunch of reasons. If Mu Yun didn't know she was the one who messed up, she might have believed it all. She even started imagining a tragic love story to people in love but from different worlds. Kiyu, heartbroken, wanted one last meeting before an arranged marriage. But Mu Yun ruined it. She figured the autumn hunt was their chance to reconnect. Waiting for everything to settle, Yingji, as the new heir, would push past all objections to give Kiyu a proper title. So tragic. So tragic. Mu Yun was totally convinced by her own theory. Why else would Kiyu be invited to the autumn hunt? The more she thought about it, the more it made sense. Suddenly, Mu Yun got nervous. If that Yingji found out she was the one who did the dirty deed, she'd be in deep trouble. She had to keep her distance. Hopefully, she wouldn't run into her. After a long day, everything was finally done. That night, they also prepared venison and fine wine. They lit a bonfire and feasted together. Mu Yun was chowing down on the venison. Coming through, freshly opened jar of monkey's drunk brew. Let Yun Yun have a taste. A Nightbird clan member came over with a wine jug. Mu Bai also took a jar. He said to Mu Yun, cold wine might not be great on a night like this. I'll go warm some up, you start eating. The rich aroma of the wine made Mu Yun crave a drink. Chiyu was sitting beside her. Mu Yun was an honored guest of the Nightbird clan. He had to attend the feast and not be rude. The wine came quickly. A small bamboo tube was just enough for Mu Yun's cup. Dixie took it and poured her a drink. He always liked sticking close to her. He and Chiyu sat on either side, bustling around, serving food and pouring wine. Mu Yun took a sip and felt something was off. She took one sip and set it down. Chiyu saw her expression and guessed why. He knew warm wine didn't taste good. So he swapped his cup with hers. With the bonfire burning, it's fine to drink this cold. Mu Bai wanted to stop him. The next second, Chiyu downed the warm wine in one gulp. The words he was about to say got stuck in his throat. Chiyu didn't notice his expression. He didn't care to pay attention to those around her. But the bits of news that slipped out always happened to reach his ears. He heard her eldest son had recently shifted form and was talking clearly. Heard about the jealousy and petty tricks among her household. And heard that nothing happened last night. That Eagle clan member still hadn't formed a bond. Hearing all this for days was starting to wear on Chi-yu. If it weren't for good manners, he really didn't want to sit here. After all, the two of them were bound to become strangers. And his cub would never call her mother. So why get involved at all? Chi-yu took another sip of wine. The strong liquor burned his throat, but all he tasted was bitterness. He watched her reach for a piece of grilled meat with chopsticks. But someone stopped her, afraid she'd burn herself. They blew on it carefully before feeding it to her. He watched her pat the young man's head in praise. The young man's eyes were clear and obedient. But underneath, there was a hint of possessiveness and dominance. Chi-yu didn't want to watch anymore. He stood up to leave. But as soon as he moved, he felt unsteady on his feet. You okay? A hand reached out to steady him. Chi-yu stepped back. He held himself upright, showing no signs of drunkenness. I'm fine. His voice was distant and polite. I have things to do, I'll take my leave. Mu-yeon stood up, worried, and went to help him. Chi-yu tried to push her away but found his limbs weak. He had no choice but to lean on her for support. Mu-yeon looked around and saw everyone else passed out drunk. She thought about asking Dishi for help, but remembered she'd sent him to get another jug of wine. Mu-bai was nowhere to be seen either. So she just helped him, trying to get him to his room quickly. Chi-yu started to feel more and more uneasy. He wasn't a heavy drinker, but he'd never gotten this drunk before. It wasn't just drunkenness, his whole body felt hot and restless. The heat spread through every limb, making him burn. This wine, his fading rational mind warned him. Someone had tampered with the wine. Thinking about the swapped drinks, a terrible possibility suddenly hit him. He let out another scornful laugh. Such a childish trick was a joke. But he couldn't laugh. He'd stumbled into a trap. Caught in it, he felt his consciousness fading. He felt someone support him and lay him on the bed. A wave of dizziness crashed over him. His last shred of clarity began to slip away. He opened his eyes. The fragmented shadows from his dream merged with the person before him. He reached out and, like in his dream, pulled her close by the waist. Mu-yeon flinched back as if burned. Lord Chi-yu. She carefully helped him lie down and pried his hands away. His long silver hair slipped through her fingers, cool and smooth. But the skin beneath her fingertips was burning hot. Why is it so hot? Mu-yeon wondered. Chi-yu leaned in again. The scorching heat inside him, now spreading like wildfire, completely drowned his senses. Lost in the dream, he craved more. She was pulled into his arms, her momentum making her fall onto him. Startled, she tried to get up, but he pushed her back down. His robes hung loose, fine celestial silk slipping from his shoulder, revealing his slender neck and collarbone. Lower still, even more was visible. Mu-yeon dared not look and hurriedly dressed him. Chi-yu hated her for acting like this. He almost felt wronged. He lay on his back, his face like jade and immortal blossoms, as if born from heaven and earth. A sliver of beauty hidden in the sacred mountain. He leaned in again, his warm voice seductive to the bone. Hurry. Those words, utterly cold, coming from his lips, made Mu-yeon's heart suddenly race. In a flash, she thought of the rumors of his arranged marriage to another clan. He was drunk. If she did that, would she even be human? Mu-yeon righteously refused. Chi-yu's lips. A few drops. He uttered a few words. Silent. But Mu-yeon understood. For simple words, made Mu-yeon's sanity completely crumble. After that, ahem. The little immortal beast world has a new chapter. When Mu-yeon woke up, every inch of her body ached as if run over by a car. Then Chi-yu beside her also opened his eyes. Seeing their clothes scattered on the floor, he couldn't help but think of last night's madness. His face flushed as he tried to get up. But his waist was wrapped in someone's arms, just as he was about to say something. He heard her say, Shi Lang. Chi-yu's face instantly darkened. After such intimacy, the first name she called was that slave's. He deliberately pulled the blanket off. Freeze to death, see if I care. Mu-yeon jolted awake. A cold draft swept through the room and Mu-yeon instinctively shrank. She remembered everything. She quickly covered him with the blanket. To block his murderous glare, Chi-yu angrily pulled the blanket down. What's there to cover? Look at me, what's left to hide? Don't be mad, I'm the jerk here. Mu-yeon braced herself and spoke. Too cold, she burrowed back under the blanket, turning into a little snow weasel. Chi-yu was almost amused by her. He grabbed her and lifted her up. The snow weasel's fluffy tail brushed over his slender fingers. Muyun didn't dare move as he lifted her by the scruff. All she could do was hug her own tail. What's with that innocent look? Chiyu gritted his teeth. It's not like we haven't done worse. You think those scratches on me are from a dog? Why aren't you running now? Aren't you the one who runs the fastest? Why make things so awkward for both of us? Wouldn't it be better if you just left? I won't say a word. Muyun guiltily lowered her head. Last night, she'd been drunk and out of control too. After a whole night of messing around, she was already exhausted. How would I have the energy to run? But she quickly straightened up her attitude. She had to. Last night, I took advantage of you. Enough. Chiyu didn't want to hear it anymore. Or rather, that wasn't what he wanted to hear. Don't get yourself all worked up. How about you hit me? I swear I won't fight back. The little snow weasel's tail brushed against his fingertips. Chiyu found that a little more comforting than what she'd said before. He set her down. Go back and keep your people in line. Don't bring this to my doorstep, it's bad for everyone. Muyun didn't catch the hidden meaning in the first part. She only understood the last part. I'm really sorry for ruining your reputation. Don't worry, no one else will ever know about this. She quickly made her stance clear. Hearing that, Chiyu gave a bitter laugh. What reputation do I even have left? Muyun's heart clenched. She knew she'd said the wrong thing. Just go, stop bothering me. Muyun's gaze was firm. She wasn't leaving. If she walked away now, what kind of person would she be? She instantly grabbed Chiyu's arm. Come on, don't be mad anymore. Are you hungry? I'll have someone bring some food. But then the man said out of nowhere. You haven't embarrassed yourself enough? Muyun instantly pulled her hand back. She forgot. He was born into the Jiangshuiqi clan, ruling the entire tribe. Countless races pledged allegiance to him. Even the Dezhong clan showed him respect. If it weren't for that accident, someone of her status wouldn't even earn a glance from him. Why would he care about her taking responsibility? Muyun felt both regret and frustration. She regretted sneaking out at night to catch bamboo rats. And she was upset that she'd ruined his purity. Looking at the man's scratched-up arm, she realized that to him, she was nothing but shame. He'd rather hurt himself than see their bond mark. He'd been trying to drive her away ever since he woke up. So this was how much he despised her. The air went still. Chiyu saw she wasn't speaking, and then noticed her head hanging low, looking so downcast. He immediately regretted it. He didn't mean it like that. He wanted to say something. But the moment he opened his mouth, Muyun cut him off. Then get some rest. I'll leave you alone. Muyun slipped back into her shameless act. She carefully tucked the blanket around him with her little paws, covering the bond mark he found so hard to talk about. Just like their relationship completely hidden away. Does your head hurt? I'll have someone make hangover soup and bring it over. Then she remembered he didn't want anyone to misunderstand their relationship. Forget it, I'll just go. Then get lost already. Chiyu turned his head away. He heard the rustling sound of her getting up. She opened her mouth a few times but swallowed her words. Once the noise stopped, he finally turned around. The room was silent. The door was shut to keep the draft out. The campfire was lit, bringing some warmth. But the warmth left in the blankets was already gone. After all that passion, only a bone-deep cold remained. A single tear rolled down his cheek. On the other side. Are you all dead or what? Who does Mubai think he is, getting treated like that? The young man's eyes were dark, like he wanted to tear someone apart. I was gone for just a minute to grab a drink and she was taken. The young man paced back and forth, not sleeping all night. His hands itched to kill someone. And now it's almost noon and she's still not back. After all that noise all night long, the seed of violence took root in his heart. He clenched his fists, holding back the urge. What's wrong? You look terrible. The young man's head shot up. His eyes instantly became clear, bright, and joyful. Master, what's wrong? Muyun ruffled his hair. Your face is pale, are you sick? No, mistress, are you hungry? Let me make you some meat soup, okay? He had the sense not to mention last night. Muyun was actually a little hungry. Sure, I'm a bit tired, so I'll lie down for a bit. Tired from what? The young man hid the thoughts in his eyes and asked nothing. He didn't ask. And Mubai definitely wasn't going to ask either. Last night, he'd planned to leave early to get the hangover cure. But by the time he got back, she was already gone. And Dishi was gone too. The plan failed and innocent people got caught up in it. Mubai was on edge all day. He was afraid something had happened to Chiyu, but after waiting all night, nothing stirred. The great shaman was still lying in the nest hut and no summons came. When the sun was high and he saw Chi-Yu was perfectly fine, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. The sky cleared and the autumn hunt was drawing closer. Everyone started packing up to set off. Bai Sanger was sent to attend to Mu Yun's daily needs. The night before they left, 2 other females from the tribe were sent along with her. The reason given was that the Night Bird tribe wasn't on the invitation list, but they hoped to tag along and see the world. How could Mu Yun say no? The Night Bird tribe even sent many gifts as thanks, including several exquisite silk fabrics and a finely woven feathered skirt. Mu Yun had only ever seen Chi-Yu wear fabric like that. Bai Sanger urged her from the side. Mistress, try it on now. We haven't sewn in a while, so I'm not sure if it'll fit. Mu Yun couldn't refuse, so Bai Sanger pulled her away to change. When she came out, the young females at the door were stunned, forgetting to breathe. Mu Yun stood there in a long gown that swept the floor, its dark pattern shimmering with unmatched elegance. Her beauty, like a world in balance, outshone the sky itself, as if she were a goddess. The crowd, who had been bustling and packing, suddenly fell silent, afraid to break the spell. So, Mu Yun looked at them. The young females were the first to snap out of it. They already knew Mu Yun was beautiful, but they never imagined that dressed up like this, she could be this stunning. Mistress, put on this fur cloak too. It's cold outside. We still have a long way to go. Can't have you catching a cold. Bai Sanger walked out from the inner room. She tied a fluffy white fur cloak around Mu Yun's neck. She smiled, pleased with her work. Dressed like this, she looks even more noble than the mistress of a great clan. Once everything was packed, they got ready to leave Flame Mountain City. The autumn hunt made the city lively. Cloth, furs, game, hides, herbs, inner cores, horses and beasts, everything you could want. But no matter how busy the streets were, the main family, the Dejong clan, was dead silent. A maid lifted the curtain and walked over carefully. Mistress, the Chi clan mistress has arrived in Flame Mountain City. Do you want to go greet her? No rush. You may go. Seeing the mistress hadn't moved, the maid didn't dare rush her. She could only back out. The bitter medicinal tea of the Shenong clan filled the air. It matched Yinghua's mood. She was just a pawn her mother used to win over the old forces of the North Sea, born with the Ying name to carry on the North Sea bloodline. Back then, the old North Sea clans all praised her mother's righteousness. But in truth, he'd been forced to take a beauty pill since birth, raised as a female. It was all just her mother's scheme. Now that the North Sea forces were slowly falling under the Dejong clan's control, he was a useless piece to be discarded. He tried to fight back. But what crushed him was that after the old clans of the 13 North Sea provinces learned his true identity, they warned him to keep quiet, pretend they knew nothing once things were settled. They even told him to win over the Chi clan, to serve as a secondary mother and squeeze out his last bit of worth. In the end, he'd always been a puppet. Mistress, the maid outside urged again. If we wait any longer, it'll really be too late. Yinghua snapped back to reality, her skirt swaying. Her beauty, enhanced by the Wanyan pill, was stunning, a face that could topple kingdoms. Over here. Mistress, Lady Yaoji is here. Yaoji? Bai Sanger nodded, feeling nervous inside. She heard that for the Tiger clan, the mistress almost got killed by Yaoji at the Dejong clan. What good could come from her visit now? Then I'll go tell Lord Qiyu. No, let's not bother him. Ever since what happened last time, they've both been avoiding each other and haven't spoken in a while. Mistress, Bai Sanger said, worried. What's there to fear? Go invite Yaoji in. If she wanted to cause me trouble, she wouldn't have come herself. Bai Sanger had no choice but to obey. An old woman helped Diao inside. Mu Yun stood up and went to greet her. Lady Yaoji. The old woman looked up and couldn't help but be startled. Her flowing, precious gown and delicate, doll-like face. This was that hick from Gyulin? The old woman was puzzled. How is her aura even more noble than the mistress of a clan? The old woman couldn't help but glance at Yaoji. Sure enough, Yaoji's face was already as dark as it could get. She had dressed plainly to show humility, but the other woman had come in full regalia, and even outshone her in looks. Standing next to her, she felt like a maid. It infuriated her. But remembering her mother's words, she forced a smile. Tired from the trip? She reached out warmly to take Mu Yun's hand. Bai Sanger subtly blocked her. It's cold outside, Lady Yaoji, please come in and warm yourself by the fire. Diao's expression froze as she pulled her hand back. Country folk really are rough and uncivilized. She swallowed her temper and sat down. Just as she was about to state her purpose, she noticed the tea. The tea set laid out on the table was the one she'd reluctantly spent 30 strings of Eastern pearls on just a while ago. Now it's in high demand and popular across the entire continent. Diao recalled that the Nightbird tribe served the Qi clan. She couldn't help but feel a bit annoyed. It's true, without a proper head of the household, things fall apart. Giving away such fine things for nothing. And to a lowly outsider, what a waste. If she were in charge, she'd set strict rules. She'd start with that arrogant female right in front of her. Rank has its privileges. Who does she think she is, acting like an equal? Diao took a deep breath, holding back her anger. Then she finally spoke again. I came here to say, don't worry about what happened last time. In front of so many people, I had to enforce the rules. Otherwise, the main family loses its authority. It was my fault for being rude first. It's in the past, let's drop it. Diao set down her teacup. But luckily, the Qi clan saved my mother's face. By all accounts, I really should pay a visit. But with etiquette in mind. If I barged in, who knows what gossip would spread. So why don't you host and bring your partner? So we can clear up the misunderstanding together. The words were reasonable and flawless. But Mu Yun wasn't stupid. She hadn't expected Diao to lower herself to come here. Just to see Qi Yu. Well, Mu Yun looked troubled. Lady Yaoji knows I have little influence. I don't have much say with the Qi clan either. No rush. Diao understood. We can talk after the autumn hunt. But I thought the Tiger clan always made a living selling slaves. Why are they making pottery now? The Rainforest Owl clan and the Nightbird clan have been close for generations. She left it at that. Diao understood. The owls depend on the Nightbird clan to get by. They took this deal but couldn't handle it, so they passed it to the Tiger clan. After all, the Tiger clan rules the rainforest. Diao sneered inside. They really lucked out. But once she marries into the Qi clan, she'll take charge of all these matters. She winced as she pulled a hairpin from her hair, took Mu Yun's hand, and placed it in her palm. Take this, it's a small apology from me. I'm hosting a dinner at my place tonight. My older sister will be there too. I'll introduce you. Lady Ying Hua? That's right. Diao said quietly. But there's something you probably don't know. My sister was actually raised by the Tiger clan. I'm not sure how she offended her. But she got kicked out. How is that possible? Really? Of course, the Tiger clan was loyal for years. And this is how they ended up. I couldn't stand to watch. So I begged mother to bond with Dian. And that's how the Tiger clan was saved. That happened too? Mu Yun frowned. She'd never heard Dishi mention it. It makes sense you wouldn't know. After all, it's not exactly a proud moment. But don't worry, the banquet also invited a lot of clans. I'll introduce you to all of them. Mu Yun didn't want to go. She hated all the clan politics. And she didn't think Diao's invitation was sincere. Mu Yun was about to refuse. But just as she opened her mouth, the system's alert suddenly rang in her mind. Hidden side quest triggered. Side quest 1, obtain a dragon scale. A dragon scale? What dragon scale? She grew up in Guiyu Forest. She'd only heard of the North Sea Candle Dragon, part of the dragon lineage. But the Candle Dragon line died out long ago. How could there be a dragon scale? What kind of stupid hidden achievement is this? And no hints at all. So, what do you think? Diao's words snapped Mu Yun back to reality. Mu Yun snapped back and suddenly felt her eye twitch. Wait. The Candle Dragon's right hand was the Kai, originally called the Chui clan. Later, when they became a clan, they changed their surname to Yaoying. And Yaoying is exactly Ying Hua. Who knew the answer was right under her nose? Since Lady Yaoji sincerely invites me, I'd be honored to accept. Diao's smile suddenly froze at the corners of her eyes. Of course, she hadn't meant the invitation. She only said it to make Mu Yun feel awkward. So she'd stay away from her sister. She never expected her to actually agree. How clueless. But Diao still smiled. Then get ready, I'll take off now. Take care, Lady Yaoji. On the other side, Qi Yu was getting ready to return to Jiangshui. After that day, he had everything properly arranged. Since there were no feelings between them, he wouldn't force it. Master, everything's packed. Of course, there wasn't much to pack anyway. The great shaman had stolen the new tea set Mu Yun made. He was all smug about it and ready to head out. Once they got to Jiangshui, Mu Yun couldn't do anything even if she was mad. But the moment he stepped inside, he froze in his tracks. His eyes went wide. What? Qi Yu got off the bed, looking a bit tired. Master, you. I'm pregnant.